This is a video that I've rarely seen. It is said to be, and I believe it is, the first Facebook Live featuring the Watts family from back in the year 2015.
Come on.
Oh, you said you had a video camera.
Come on.
Yay! Symbols.
Where you going? You can walk.
Come on, monkey.
This next video is just so sweet. Here, Bella is talking to Shanann about how much she misses her grandparents after they've left to go home, after they were in Colorado for a while for a visit. Bella is just so sweet, and she loved so deeply. She loved her family and all of her grandparents so very much.
They went home, baby. I know, but you'll talk to them on the phone later. They had to go home. We'll talk to them later. You want to call them? You want to call Mimi and Papa? Okay. Do you miss them?
Papa's upstairs.
Papa's not downstairs, baby. He had to go home. Say hi, Papa. Say hi, Mimi. Say I love you.
Love you.
Oh, you're so sad.
Mimi.
I know, baby. We'll go visit them next month, okay? You want to go visit them?
Yeah.
Okay. You miss them? Give them kisses.
Yeah.
Let's go downstairs, see Cece. You want to go see Cece?
Yeah.
Okay. Say bye, Mimi and Papa.
This next video is just an excerpt of a video you may have seen online. It's of Bella watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, where she says, "Save me, Mommy," a few times. There's one part in here that I think is particularly cute when Shanann is telling a story to her friends who are watching the live. And it seems like it embarrasses Bella, and Bella says, "I did not, Mommy." I just think it's so cute that Bella has that awareness of herself and how she wants to be presented or not at this very young age.
Thanks, Kevin. So I'm letting her stay up a little late tonight and watch the movie with us, and then she's going to go night-night, right, Bella? She's into it. We're going to go live here in the event here in just a few minutes when she gets done. But she wanted me to save her. She's attached. I'm right here. Say, well, I'll see you guys later. She told me to go live. If Christina and Kevin are still in here, she goes,
Coming.
no monster, he's gone. That's Rudolph. Bella, will you tell everyone how old you're going to be?
We.
How old?
3.
3.
Okay, so welcome everybody. So the reason I played that video in particular, at least, was I was trying to find the video that just had Bella saying how much she missed her grandmother. In this case, they're talking about Grandma Watts. And the reason I played that was because there's been, I know that there's so much dislike and from some people hate towards both of the victims' families here, the R family and the Watts family. And Bella and Celeste clearly loved all four of their grandparents so much. And in my opinion, from what we can see, all four of those grandparents, our grandparents and the Watts grandparents, were awesome grandparents. Nobody's perfect, but they were pretty darn good, and they loved their grandkids and their family like crazy. So I just wanted to play that because I think it's always important to remember the victims and to remember their reality of what their life was like. And their reality was there was a ton of love between those children and the grandparents. So yeah. So hi, Catch Chick 56. How are you? And a Curious Rose, I'm going to have you come up here in just a couple minutes, darling. A Curious Rose is going to come up on panel this evening, and we're going to do a Q&A among other things. So if you do have any questions, if you would like to come up on panel for a little bit and say something, if there is, something that you want us to go over again. I feel like I've made videos on virtually every single aspect of this case. Actually, there's a couple that I haven't that I have in the queue, but we'll definitely do that. So hi, Tracy Wheeler. How are you doing? And Curious Rose. Hi, Bebop. How are you? And I'm glad you can make a live stream again. And Curious Rose and Jamie Smith, thank you for moderating. And hello, lovely Utter Nutter. You're awesome. You were like at every live stream. I really appreciate it. And Jody is cool. Hi, darling. How are you? And Cecile, yay, another wonderful moderator. Hi, Jody Landis. How are you? Oh, we got 2 Jodys again. We could have 3. Let's see. And then, let me keep going up. Sharon Norris, I hope you enjoyed your company and welcome back to being part of the chat. King Venom, welcome to the channel. I'm not sure if I've seen you here before. If you were here and I missed you, I'm really sorry about that, but I warmly welcome you to Watch the Obsession chat. And nice to see you, 80 Lady J. Sorry, I just switched your name around. And Susan Gee, is it? I know somebody who's a substitute teacher in the school I used to work at. His name is spelled the same. He was Mr. Gee. Hello, Edward. Welcome back, my friend. How are you doing? And let me just go up a little further. Green Eyes S. Hello, or Green Eye S or Green Eyes. I love Green Eyes. Welcome. I'm glad you could make another chat as well. And let me just go up a little more. I always hate missing people. And I think that's as far as I can go up right now. So yeah. So, as far as questions and answers, I want to tell you first, I want to start with a question that I have. And I've heard people make the case for, the answer to the question matters. Or some people say, well, it really doesn't matter, does it? But I think it does matter. And I'll tell you why after we watch this short excerpt of the August 18th, dun, 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 Nicole Kessinger, the Enchilada, formerly known as Nicole Kessinger, video with Kevin Kovac and the other CBI dude, I can't remember his name right now, and what she says there. So the question is, guys, do you think that Chris Watts' former mistress had the code to get into his home? And do you think it matters if she did or didn't? Like, no, who cares if she did or she didn't? Or do you think that that is a material question that deserves an answer? So I'm going to play that excerpt. I'm going to tell you what I think about it, and I want to hear what you think. Let's see. And actually, you know what? I'm going to put the link to, I'm going to drop the link for coming up on panel. So Curious Rose, whenever you're ready, you can come on up. There you go. All right, here, let me bring in that video part. I don't know if R is here, but there she is with a finger on her lip, like a little kid. We might have to watch this a couple times. She really plays coy, and listen carefully to what Kevin Kovac is asking her, how he's asking it, and just observe as much as you can now that we can see her about the verbal and nonverbal communication this little taquito is putting out. Well, I guess we're buffering
I
or
don't
something.
think I was like concerned about anything at that point.
You guys had had a nice meal the night before. You knew his wife was probably coming home late that evening.
Oh, so wait, hold it. You know what?
You know what?
While we're at it, while we're right here, I'm going to go back just like a minute before this point, even because this is the point where Kobach asks her about the 111-minute conversation that they had. Right now, we are an hour and some odd minutes into this interview, and this is the third time he's put that question out there because our little Taquito just like will not answer the question and seems to avoid it at almost literally all costs. Well, not literally, but she really works to avoid the question. All right, let me swing back another minute or so. Yeah, hi, Daddy Kessinger. You ignorant little man. All right.
I didn't know.
Oh, wait, there's so much good material here. I didn't know. Let me go back even a little further. All right, so we're going to listen to about 5 minutes. All right.
That it's going to affect me long term. It's like, I'm going to wake up every day and know that, like,
it's all about
this
her.
mom and her unborn child and these 2 little girls are not around anymore. And it breaks my heart. It is. And then I have to think about like the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like all of her family's impacted.
Hi,
my name
Anaphylaxis.
is about to be like slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like, how dare you, and people aren't going to understand that. They're going to say, oh, you're the one that
little
had an affair with this
Taquito.
man who took out his whole family. And I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know. Like, he's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything. And I just, all those little girls, they're so little.
We talked a little bit earlier about getting some help for these things, and we can provide that.
Okay.
At really no cost. Through the
Oh,
state.
one more can.
Okay, listen, John McSmith. All right, touche, my friend. Touche. Dwayne Kessinger seems like a loving father. I think he was just doing what he felt was best for his daughter. So I take it back. Touche.
We just want to make sure there's resolution.
Absolutely.
That's why we come to you guys to
Yeah.
pound it down
Hey,
until there's
I'm
nothing left.
sorry that you're talking again today. I really am. I don't want to put you through any more trauma than you've already been through. There is reasons for everything that we're doing today and what occurred. And I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry. These are not things that we like.
Now, keep that statement in mind. He says there are reasons for everything that we are doing today. And, earlier in the interview, he tells her, like, hey, listen, Taquito, you might not always know why I'm asking you a question because there are some things I'm not going to tell you, which I'm sure she didn't like, but there's always a reason. And I think that's true. And I do think that his questioning is very intentional and pointed. I think through this interview, he probably did a pretty good job. In my opinion, after this interview and the successive interviews that we have record of, whether it's the audio record or that one phone call on the 21st of August where the audio cut off mysteriously, but then I found that transcript that's really freaking hard to find. And she talks about actually talking to Chris Watts when he was out in the field on Monday, August 13th, the day the family was murdered. And I think it's very interesting that was not preserved in audio, but I digress. So it's important to pay attention to what he asks and how he asks it.
Like to do twice. It's the same thing with other types of victims from other crimes. We want to do it once and we want to be done. Unfortunately, we didn't know yesterday what we know today. And that's why we're here, because we need this video. And I am sorry, because I know it's hard to talk about it. But
it's
it's
so sad, and she's pregnant.
And you know, on our end, we
God, and
didn't.
they're so cute. They're so little. Like, wow. Why? How? I don't even understand how you could like bring yourself to do that to somebody who's like that big.
Now we also want to notice, oh, ugly cry face without crying, how quickly she recovers, from being upset here. And welcome to Curious Rose. I think I can hear you. Are you there?
I just unmuted just to say hello to everyone and thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, I will be right back to you, darling.
Okay.
Oh,
take a minute. Do you want to step out for a minute?
no, I just chill my clothes for a second. I still cannot believe this is happening. All right, let's keep going because we're just getting to the meat of this whole
Let's
situation.
get to the phone call on Saturday from 9 to 11. What did you guys, or pardon me, on Sunday from 9 to 11?
Yeah, we talked a few times. So
Third time he tries to ask her about this.
Sunday, I think so. I need to think.
Take a couple breaths and take a second.
She recovers quickly.
I don't
She
think I
does.
was like concerned about anything at that point.
You guys had had a nice meal the night before. You knew his wife was probably coming home late that evening.
Oh, you know what? I still don't remember what we talked about. Honestly, we talked about so much random stuff. Like, it's so hard to pinpoint some of these things. I don't remember what we talked about. I do remember that was a long phone conversation. We probably talked about all sorts of stuff.
Now, I just want to welcome to all the people who just came into chat. I'm sorry if I didn't get to say hello to everybody personally. Hi, guys. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome. A bunch of people just came in all at once, and I don't want to break the flow too much. But remember, the reason that we're watching this little portion of the interview is, so tonight we're going to be, watching some important, clips of things, and it's also a Q&A. So I put the question out there. Did Nicole Kessinger have the access code to get into the Watts residence? What do you think? And they're about to talk about that, so please pay careful attention. And is it relevant or important if she did or not? And I think yes, it is. And you guys are going to tell me what you think, but let's watch here.
One thing I do remember, though, that I didn't remember earlier when I was talking to Mark. So this is where I'm starting to remember little bits and pieces. I don't remember. Yeah, I know. So the phone conversation, I don't remember what was in the phone conversation. Probably nothing of relevance, to be honest with you. But usually he talks to me when he's down in the basement in his bed before he goes to bed and before I go to bed. And I could hear the TV on, which I thought was kind of weird. I didn't ask him. I just heard it in the background. And I remember thinking, and it was right before we got off the phone, I was like, why the hell is he up? And there's no TV downstairs. So I was like, well, maybe, I don't know.
So no TV in the basement where he usually calls you from.
Yeah, and I don't know how many TVs they have. I've never been in their bedroom. I went upstairs once and it was to their little playroom. And I just looked at it and I was like, that's super cute that your girls have books. And that was it. And other than that, I've never been in any of those rooms in that upstairs. To me, it was just you don't know.
Yeah, you don't.
I had no. So I don't know if he has any other TVs. I'm assuming by how much other nice stuff they have in their house, it wouldn't surprise me. So I'm not quite sure what room he was in at that point. But I just remember hearing the TV, and I was like, it was just weird to me because I was like, why are you watching TV right now? It was super late, and that was the only thing.
And he had phoned you, or were you guys already talking when the TV was going? Or
I just remember I picked up on it later, but I don't think it was throughout the whole conversation. Like, I just remember it being towards the end because I remember thinking, like, wow.
Man,
it's
she
really
sure
late.
talks a lot about him having the freaking
The,
television on. Oh, wait, here
Somebody
this
asked
is.
you about the house
Right.
when you've been there twice, and it just made me remember. Do you remember how you guys accessed the house?
That's a good question. So
Sure is.
once through the garage,
Look at the finger on her mouth.
and I
Ugh.
think once through the front door. I think the first time was through the front door, I think. And I think the second time was through the garage.
Is there anything unique about either of the doors when you went into the house that might not be typical of another house?
Like a unique door.
Not the
they
door
have a camera
itself.
on their door.
Okay,
I mean, I
there's
know
a
that.
camera on the which door?
It's on the front door, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking
I think
you.
so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did he use a key to access the house?
No. He did not. The first time I went over there, he just let me in. And then the second time, did we?
Because
go
that was
through
July
the garage?
4th.
I don't remember.
Wait.
I've been through his garage before. I went through his front door once though, because I remember he had just cleaned. It was the first time I went through his front door because he had just cleaned his carpets, and he had moved all the furniture out of the way, and the furniture was kind of in the way of the door. And he's like, "The door doesn't open all the way right now. I'll move all the furniture back when the carpet dries." So I do remember that, just kind of offhandedly. And the second time, I want to say we went through his garage because I remember his garage. I remember, yeah.
So he was at the house when you went there. You were never there by yourself.
He
correct?
was at,
Or
no.
he took you there.
The first time he was already there,
Okay.
and I met up with him. And the second time we went there together.
So the front door, I asked if he had used a key.
He let me in.
Okay. So there's a, those keypads where you can enter an access code. Do you remember seeing that on his door?
Like, I want to say vaguely, but to be honest with you, I don't remember. Like, he let me in that day. That
So
was
he never
so
gave
long
you
ago.
the code to access his home.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
You talked about a security system.
Hmm.
There was a camera on the front door. Was that just like a, what a Ring doorbell is that goes to your phone?
I don't even know what it looked like. I only
Okay.
know that it existed either because A, I wasn't.
Oops, sorry. Okay, wait. So now, okay. So a couple things I just want to point out about her, how she responded was that the beginning of her response where she starts to speak to him in this very coy manner with her finger on her mouth, like this kind of little kid look, like, I think one time I went through the front door and then I went
Right.
through the garage. Oh, that is, first of all, the way she responded was unlike her tone and her body language and everything and any of her other responses in the video interviews. And I think she was just trying to throw him off with her, what she resorts to a lot of the times, that cutie, like flirty thing that she tries to put out.
It's the come hither.
Yeah, the come hither, the damsel in distress.
Yes.
Yeah. And she loves to do that, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
she does.
And then she sure does. And then this last part here, when she's answering the question specifically about the access code and whatnot, I just want to show you that again because you'll see that she's touching her neck. She's rubbing her neck. She has her arm across her body and is rubbing her neck. So the rubbing her neck is two things. The rubbing is self-soothing. The rubbing your neck is, a lot of times when people, if they're nervous or something, their neck and chest will get red, like you'll start to break out there. So it's a sensation you want to address. And also that arm across her body, it's a way of blocking. So it's like,
yeah, she's guarding.
Exactly. She's guarding and she doesn't want to be giving this answer. She does not want to be asked the question. So I'm just going to go back a little bit so you can catch it again. And then I want to hear what y'all think. Oh, wait, we'll go to the finger in the mouth. There it is. That's good enough. Ugh.
And I think once through the front door. I think the first time was through the front door, I think. And I think the second time was through the garage.
Is there anything unique about either of the doors when you went into the house that might not be typical of another house?
Like a unique door.
Not the
they
door
have a
itself.
camera on their door.
Okay,
I mean,
there's a
that.
camera on the which door?
It's on the front door, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did he use a key to access the house?
No, he did not. The first time I went over there, he just let me in. And then the second time, did we go through the garage? I don't remember. I've been through his garage before. I went through his front door once, though, because I remember he had just cleaned. It was the first time I went through his front door, because he had just cleaned his carpets, and he had moved all the furniture out of the way, and the furniture was kind of in the way of the door. And he's like, the door doesn't open all the way right now. I'll move all the furniture back when the carpet dries. So I do remember that, just kind of offhandedly. And the second time, I want to say we went through his garage, because I remember his garage. I remember, yeah.
So he was at the house when you went there. You were never there by yourself.
He was at,
or he took you there.
The first time.
Now, do remember the first time she was at the house was after Chris Watts woke up, in her bed that morning and realized he had missed 10 calls from Shanann. She went and hopped. What's that?
He was in trouble.
He was in trouble. So
Yeah.
she went in the shower and, he talked to, he went outside. He talked to Shanann. Shanann was pissed, he said. So he said, I'm going to go home. She was really unhappy. So Chris went home, and then here Kessinger shows up on his front doorstep, which leads me to another question I personally have. If they had only known each other for a very short time casually and had only been dating, according to them, for a week at that point, and there's no reason for her to have, been near his house. They live like half an hour, 40 minutes away from one another. How did she even know where he lived? But we'll save that. Let's just finish watching this part, and then I will get to what y'all think.
He was already there, and I met up with him. And the second time, we went there together.
So the front door, I asked if he had used a key.
He let me in.
Okay. So there's a, those keypads where you can enter an access code. Do you remember seeing that on his door?
I want to say vaguely, but to be honest with you, I don't remember. Like, he let me in that day. That's
so he never
so
gave
long
you
ago.
he never gave you the code to access his home?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
You talked about a security system. There was a camera on the front door. Was that just like a, what a Ring doorbell is? That
I forgot. And then she takes a drink, which for her, whoops, is always a sign. Oopsie. Shit. Okay. Whoops. Sorry about that. Whoop.
Ooh, there's two of you.
Wait, hold it. Let me fix that. All right.
Okay.
Crap. Why is that happening? Hold it.
Did it freeze, Callie?
Shh, don't talk for a sec. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't mean to be so but
No,
it was
I
going to
was
start
wondering if
doing.
it froze.
It was going to start doing some. No, it was going to start doing some mad echoing if we continued to talk. So,
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Let me just get everything. Oh, thank you very much for the. Oh, thanks, Holly S. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, "Great channel," and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So
Yeah,
nice.
sound check 1 2 1 2. That's right, Viv. Yeah. So, hi, Ara. How are you? Welcome, my darling.
Hey, Ara.
I'm saying hi to Ara because she's one of our moderators. She's just in the house, and so. So what do you guys think of that? What do you think about that, Curious Rose?
Well, with her going to the house, like you said. So if she went July 4th and they had only been dating, what do we assume, a few a few weeks at the most.
No, we don't even need to assume anything. Like he said that they didn't start seeing each other until Shanann left for North Carolina, which was on the 27th of June. So
that's only
1 week.
days. Jesus, that's crazy.
Yep.
So you go to the front door. Did she know? Like, was there ever even any mention about the fact that they had a Ring camera? Was she hoping Shanann would see her at the front door ringing the doorbell? You don't. I mean, these are all crazy questions, but at the same time, she just walked right up to his front door. Like you said, how do you even know where he lived?
Right. Yeah.
How shocked was he to see her at the door?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's like a really good question. So let's just like set up the possible scenario. So he wakes up at her house. Shanann calls. He talks to her. She's pissed. He's like, man, I got to go home. Nicole's still in the shower, after I'm sure they had a night of whatever.
Right.
And, and so, and then she shows up at his front door. So she probably was raging mad. So I hadn't even thought of that before. I mean, I think it's very possible that she would have wanted Shanann to see her. And thank you very much for the super sticker, Roxana. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
I just see her.
Go ahead.
I do just see her walking up to the door. She was mad. They were gonna hang out during the day. I don't think at night. I think they were going to be doing separate things at night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think she was going to a baseball game with her friends.
Right.
Yeah.
She was just jealous over the fact that he chose to go home in case his wife was going to call anymore. It infuriated her.
Yeah, totally.
Didn't care. I don't think she would have cared even had she already known there's the camera at that front door. She would have probably enjoyed being seen, not ringing the doorbell.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, Sarah makes a really good point. Sarah, I didn't even think of this either. So you guys are so smart. Sarah says, wasn't her birthday the 3rd? And yes, it was. So he spent the night with her and then ran when Shanann Watts called the next morning. That's gotta hurt. That's a really good point. Like kind of like dick face. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I mean,
that's right.
For both directions. Because he's, being a dick face to his wife and her in that case.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just,
he's being shitty to both. He's just a shitty dude to both of them at this point. Hi, Molson.
Totally. Molson Man is in his house. Woohoo! So Holly S says he was done with Shanann. I think Holly S, I think that you're right. I think at that point he was totally done with Shanann. I do think, and I've gone back and forth on it, but there seems to me that there's evidence that towards the very end of Shanann's life, unfortunately, that I think he was becoming torn. And I really do believe, I think he was showing signs that he was leaning back towards Shanann. And I think if, she wasn't murdered, which is like a really big if, obviously. But, I think that it might have just ended up that this was just a fling with an empanada. And then he just went on with the rest of his normal life. Probably not very happy because I don't think Shanann would have really ever let it go. But I can't blame her one way or the other for that.
Oh, I know. I don't know if she would have been able to forgive him more so than him sticking it out with her. But I do agree with you that I don't think it was going to end that him and Nicole were going to, walk in the sunset and live happily ever after together. I don't see that being what the end result was going to going to be. But we'll never.
Yeah, totally. So, does anyone in chat have? Oh, yes. So, Bebop says she was terrified he'd leave her. And this to me is, from a psychology perspective, I believe that she shows signs much like Amber Heard does of possibly having borderline personality disorder, which one of the key indicators of that is this intense fear of being what people in their minds consider abandonment. And then a willingness to do nearly anything, even if it hurts yourself, if it hurts other people, and I'm talking mentally, physically, or however, to avoid that feeling that, you know, is really, of abandonment. So, yeah. Oh,
He had both women in fear of, you know, Shanann was, you know, concerned about them splitting up, her not being able to afford to stay where they were, you know, not knowing what her future was going to be like, a third baby on the way. You know, and Kay not wanting him to leave her and talking about the apartment right up to the end, and then her getting, you know, feeling that he was backing away from even discussing getting an apartment. That bothered, you know, she brought that up to the FBI. Obviously that bothered her.
I mean, she brought it up to Kevin. She brought it up in her interviews so many times, and she was so emphatic about it. And I don't think she realized how weird it sounded. And, you know, she just kept explaining how, you know, and I was trying to help him. I was trying to get an apartment. And then I can see if I can find this little piece of the August 23rd interview, which was the last interview she had with law enforcement, when Kevin Kovac is asking her about it again.
Yes.
And he's like, so, God, you know, I'm going to find it in a minute.
I like
so
that.
He's like, so, interview. Yeah. So he's like, you know, so, he was asking her questions, and, you know, just to paraphrase, it was like, damn, you were working really freaking hard to get him an apartment, weren't you, girl? Are you so sure, you know, he wanted an apartment?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was like,
you're
right.
Crazy.
Crazy. She sounds so crazy. She wanted it to be like, she was just trying to be so helpful. I'm just trying to help him, and, you know, get bunk beds for the girls. Like, oh
yeah.
Obnoxious.
No, definitely obnoxious. So R asks, question for the panel: do you think that SW, Shanann Watts, would have forgiven Chris Watts' affair? And I think we kind of just answered it, but I mean, I think she would have. I think she would have legitimately tried to. I think she would have done that to save her marriage, because she really wanted to save her marriage, and I believe that, especially she didn't know she had to save her marriage until the very end of her life.
Right.
But I think ultimately, I don't think she had the kind of personality where she would have been able to forgive him.
Yeah, she would have tried to forgive, never forget. I definitely think it would have been thrown in his face a lot. But at the same time, she did write him that letter. She wanted him to talk to her. She wanted to communicate more. I don't know.
Yeah. That's right. So now Bebop says, and hi, Karen G, how are you, sweetheart? Bebop says, she said she hid from an ex-lover. I wonder what really happened with those two, and if he was married as well. Well, you know, people with this personality profile, if I and others who think this are right, you know, having that borderline personality, you know, period, or those tendencies, they're going to definitely, just the way Amber Heard did on the stand in the Depp versus Heard trial, they're going to turn those scenarios around where they were really, you know, victimizing someone else to make themselves sound like the victim, because of course they are always the victim, you know.
Yeah, right. I had to get away from him. Oh, he was never going to let me just live without him. Like, yeah, that's pretty much Amber Heard and NK have that, like, a lot in common, and that is one of the things. They are the victim, always going to be the victim.
Yeah, totally, very much so.
Yeah, and she never said much about that her ex, that I think his name was Sean. She spoke little of him, just that he was psycho or whatever his issues were. Not much, but of course she was the victim. You got that from the conversation that she was having with Charlotte.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh, the conversation with Charlotte about
Oh,
maybe we should play part of that, or let's see, or that's just
transcribed kind of.
Yeah, okay. You know what, I'm gonna bring that up too.
Yeah.
So now Bebop, I think you made another, or no, let's see. So I'm gonna throw this question to you if you know the answer to it. If not, I will address it. I'm gonna go look up a couple of things. But let's see. The question is, do you Michelle 77 VA, and hi Michelle, how are you, and welcome, says, what happened with Shanann's first marriage? Do you know about that? Or
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't say exactly what was the real reason other than she worked a lot. She stopped communicating, she stopped talking, she stopped coming home at night and would just work, and then he didn't know even where she'd be staying, and it ended. But what really broke up their marriage, I don't remember him ever really giving an actual reason other than she worked a lot and then started not coming home, not communicating. Do you know otherwise?
Yeah.
Right?
No, I mean, that's all that I know as well.
Okay,
That's all I think that was released. Yeah. I mean, he didn't, you know, he didn't say much more than that. He just said, that she, exactly what a Curious Rose just said. So do you want to grab some questions in the chat, darling?
Okay, sure.
Can you see it? Okay.
I could see it, I have my phone, because the
Cool.
StreamYard lags, you know how that is.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Let me just make sure. So we left off with Michelle, so that was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah, if we ever find out anything more, we'll be sure to report it out. But at this point, I mean, I did look into that at one point, hoping that there were more answers to find, but I personally could not find them.
I mean, he didn't speak ill of her, really. It just made it sound like she was just a workaholic and then really somebody that shouldn't have been married.
Yeah, totally.
Just a lot of comments, just how, NK's bipolar, just not liking her, just making sure I'm not missing any actual questions.
If you guys have any questions, someone throw a question, put it in, just go ahead and put it in all caps so we can see it. That's really the best way to do it, I think, because I don't get the tag or anything, because I'm just looking through StreamYard personally. Let's see. I'm going to find this transcript here.
Yeah, DTC, I think you're correct on that. I do remember Shanann making it a point to say that she was married at the time and worked to put him through law school, and he became a lawyer, and she didn't finish her academics. But yet DTC says that he had a GI scholarship. Oh, okay, that's a good, because I do know she says, that she helped put her ex-husband through law school. So that's kind of interesting.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I had not heard anything about that. And he's so minimal in the investigation that there's really not much that was even discussed about him other than that one little bit. Okay, R asked, do you think Shanann was actually preparing for a divorce? She mentions divorce to her friends at the end and not in Colorado.
I don't think she was. There's some speculation about that. In addition to, talking about it a little bit with her friends, towards the very end, there's that attorney that she ran into when she went out to dinner with one of her friends. And
when was that? Do you remember when that was? I
don't know. It was in. I think it was in the April. It was the April before. It was the April before April of 2018. I can't believe
that's the same year though. Okay, I couldn't remember.
Same year. Okay. Same year. So it was like 5, 6, whatever, from April to August. Yeah. So that was the time frame for that. But she also could have been. Who knows why that was? But I don't think that. I mean, what would she have done? I mean, she had the potential to earn a living. She, had jobs where she had a salary before, but, and I know not all people involved in MLMs roll this way, but it's pretty clear to me that the way she rolled with the MLM, she was paying into her own status, So.
Yes. I don't think be a single mom. I mean, there's no guarantee what you're going to be bringing in weekly with that type of a job. That's, to me, is frightening.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And with a third child 100%. On the way,
it's really scary. I don't think she would have done it. I don't think she could have. She could have done it in the position that the family was in at that time. I don't think either of them could have afforded to go off on their own if they wanted to. I really don't think it was possible. I just don't.
Yeah, they were in bad shape, especially at the very end. Like, they were really headed for the next bankruptcy. What Bebop says, I think she
Yeah.
thought about it. Yeah, I think I agree, Bebop. I think she thought about it, but she had it. You know,
Yeah.
Chris would have gotten on my nerves.
Oh my God. No doubt. Let's see. Okay, so I have this. I have the transcription of her conversation with Charlotte. Now, something interesting, guys, that I want to point out about this. When I was doing research for like some previous stuff that I was working on, specifically when when Nicole Kessinger asked Chris Watts what about when he went to the field on that Monday morning when the family was killed instead of going right into the office. And on the record, she changed her story dramatically 3 times. And I'm just repeating this, guys, because I think it's so critical. And after telling law enforcement 5 times that she had not talked on the phone with Chris Watts during the day on August 13th, the day the family was murdered, she actually slips and says to Kevin Kobach in her last recount of it, when all of a sudden it was so weird that he went out to the field, she says to him, so I asked him for proof, and, he was like, what can I send for proof? And I told him blah, 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 blah. And, he sent it to me right away. I was still on the phone with him when I got it. So right there, and then she goes on to describe that in detail. And you can tell that she is actually probably for the first time actually talking off the cuff, like what she likes to say, or, just offhandedly.
Right.
And, she tells him that she was on the phone with Chris. I think that's a big deal.
I do too.
Yeah. Because, the first time she spoke with investigators, they asked her about that. She supposedly did not yet know that the family had in fact been murdered. And she still says that she did not talk to him during the day on the 13th until that evening around 5 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah.
So do you guys think that's a big deal?
Such a liar.
Yeah.
And John did make a good point earlier, and I agreed with him because he said Shanann would have made good money selling cars.
Yeah,
she was good at that.
Yeah.
And everybody agrees, she wouldn't have been able to handle getting up and having to go into an office and have to work a 9 to 5 plus 3 kids at home, getting them up, getting them ready for school, daycare, whatever. Definitely something way over what she was capable of. Mentally, no, she was not even physically, just mentally would be too much. A lot.
Yeah.
But she was good at it. That is one thing they said. Her, I forget what the guy's name was. Their friend that said that she was, very good at that.
So Glenna Bridges asked, wouldn't it be easier if CW, Chris Watts, asked for a divorce while she was in North Carolina? Well, that's a really good question because, it sure as hell would have. Thank you for becoming a member, Ara. I really appreciate that. Thank you, darling. And I think that he didn't because he had 6 weeks when he could have done that. But I believe that he didn't because I don't think he was not convinced that that's what he wanted.
Right.
Yeah. So, and Jamie, I see your question. I'm going to come back to it. I want to come to this transcript that I have up before I forget what I was thinking about here.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing that I had noticed about this, guys, when I was doing that research about when she asked Chris Watts for proof of where he was that Monday morning, was that when Kevin Kobach mentions the phone call that Kessinger had with Charlotte, but he just mentions it and there's no transcript or anything like that. He says that I'm sorry, it's a text exchange, guys, between Nicole Kessinger and Charlotte. It's the only text exchange where Nicole Kessinger mentions to Charlotte, who's supposedly her best friend, she says, she's my life. It's the only exchange where she mentions Chris Watts. Now, in the discovery, Kevin Kobach notes this text conversation is happening on August 7th. But when Stacey Galbraith documents it, puts it into a transcript form and describes it, gives a narrative of it for the discovery. She tells us that it really happens on August 12th. So what I'm wondering is, did Kevin Kovac, report that this text exchange happened on the 7th because that's what Kessinger told him, because she would have known that it was really suspicious that she first told her best friend, who's her life, quote unquote, about him the day before the murders? Or is there another reason? We'll probably never know, but I definitely just took no.
Oh, yeah. I see. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't until a few weeks ago when I was researching it. When I was researching like that whole little thing I did on the timeline of Nicole Kessinger, the Sunday, Monday timeline of Nicole Kessinger, there's still so many things I haven't even put out to you guys because I found so much. It was just crazy.
Geez, there's so much.
We'll get to it. So here, I'm just going to read this, and this is from Stacey Galbraith. So it says, synopsis, on September 5th, 2018, I was asked to assist by speaking with Charlotte Nelson. Nelson is a friend of Nicole Kessinger, and the two exchanged text messages about the relationship between Kessinger and Chris Watts. I provided a packet of text messages involving 720, which I was advised was that of Shanann Watts. Which I don't really understand. Action taken. I, Agent Galbraith, subsequently reviewed the content. The records are somewhat confusing, as some of the correspondence is clearly with 720, but other times it's with 90080004101. However, the content appears to indicate that the person is the same one communicating from 720 based upon the conversation flow. 720 is the number of Charlotte Nelson. This is very confusing. Stacey's right.
Yeah.
The texting is on 812, not 87, as Kovac reported. And guys, he wrote it 3 times. I don't believe it was a typo because it was written 3 times. And then she goes on to say, I am not certain of the time zone in which the records are formatted. Some of the content is undecipherable. Based on the numbers, it is difficult to say for sure if the texts are from Nikki or Charlotte. But the content lends to context in the author. Okay, so then it says Nikki, 8/12/2018, 10:51 hours. Been kind of hanging out with a guy recently, keeping it a secret. Dude loves to eat pee. I can't even say that out loud.
I can't. No, we don't. Women don't. We don't just text this. It blew my mind.
I know. I would never, ever.
What a guy! It's like such
never.
a dude. I know.
Yeah, I know. She is such a dude. Never met a man who does till now. I just let it happen. LOL. And then Charlotte says, "Where did you meet this man?" And then Nikki, ate me out my one time. I don't know, man. Whoops. Oh, crap. Hold it. I just lost. Okay. So she's like, where did you meet this man? And she's just going on to talk about this. This is just, she's so weird.
It's like it's nothing for her to discuss it.
I know. Oh, hold it. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Hold it here. Sorry. Okay. Come on. We're on the good stuff here. All right. So, okay, so ate me out my one time. I don't know, man. Sean, never. Guys are lame with that stuff. I don't think it's you, man.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. They talk like guys. And then Nikki says, feels like every dude I meet has kids these days. And if they don't, they have commitment issues or some BS like Sean. And then Charlotte says, cute. And then I don't know. Cute. I think Menge is man.
Yeah.
Cute, yeah. Cute man. It's a package deal though. What's the dude's name? Kids are. And then Charlotte again. So they're missing a message from Kessinger. I wonder why that is.
I thought that was Kessinger saying the kids were cute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And Charlotte says, that's awesome, man. And then Nikki says, kid is a good thing, I think. The fact he takes care of his kids is a good thing, I think. Okay, this is all jumbled up, guys. Sorry, I'm reading it so weird, but just
It's
is.
hard though. It is. It's hard to.
And, yeah. And then she says he's all about the kids. And then Charlotte asks, "That's cool. How old are they?" And then she says, "How old is he?" And then she says, "In 33, I think." And then Nicole Kessinger, "I just feel like I will always be second place. He's been there, done that. It's early though. We will see. He is very kind to me though. Sexy. And he works out, so he's super, we don't know what.
Maybe it's super sexy. I don't know. Maybe
oh yeah, super sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Haven't made up my mind on him yet. Don't tell anyone. Like, he seems too good to be true. Let's see. Yeah, it's the best sex I've ever had. I'm hooked.
Oh God! Thank God! Thank God!
Yeah. I think he really likes me. I think he really likes me. Let's see. And then it goes on to say, I had left Nelson a message on September 5th, 2018, and texted her on September 6th, 2018, prior to her calling me. Nelson met Kessinger in high school. They were not as close then as they are now. Nelson moved to Aruba and moved back around 2006, and she and Kessinger got in contact. Kessinger is Nelson's best friend. They text a lot, but do not see each other, but maybe once every month or two. She's my life. Nelson knew why I would be contacting her. I asked how this case is sitting with her. She told me it is a horrible situation and is very upsetting. She is worried about Kessinger. Nelson said that Kessinger got caught up with the wrong person at the wrong time, and it's just devastating. I asked if Nelson knew that Kessinger had been dating Chris Watts. Nelson explained that Kessinger was working as a contractor for Anadarko. Kessinger had told Nelson that she was seeing a guy at work at some point. Kessinger did not say who, and Nelson never met him. Nelson saw news about this case and heard that the guy worked at Anadarko, and Nelson wondered if Kessinger knew the guy. Kessinger then called Nelson and let her know that the media may try to get in contact with her about the case. Nelson said that Kessinger said she could not discuss much about the case with her. And that might be, okay, there's more. Nelson told me that her father died a couple weeks ago and she had been drinking a lot to deal with things right now. Nelson said that she looked back and Kessinger had sent her a photo of Kessinger and the guy she was seeing. I wonder when that was. Yeah. Nelson agreed to go back through her text messages and screenshot the communication she had with Kessinger. Kessinger had told Nelson that the guy she was seeing had a couple kids. Nelson knew Kessinger liked kids, and she seemed in favor of it. Kessinger said he was a really nice guy, and she did not seem to mind that he had kids. Nelson said that she did not say much, as she tends to let people live their lives. This is all written so strangely. Nelson did not think it was smart of Kessinger to date someone she worked with, and she liked her job, but Nelson did not tell Kessinger that. I asked if Kessinger spoke of the guy's marital status to Nelson. Kessinger did not at the time, but Kessinger has since told Nelson that the guy had told Kessinger that he was separated from his wife. Yeah, of course, to cover her ass. Right. Kessinger did not provide Nelson details of the relationship as to where they spent time, when they spent time, how they spent time, or if they were intimate. But obviously, yes, she did. Because he just said the guy likes to
the most intimate thing. Yeah.
I know. This is so weird. She said that she did not know and she did not ask. That's bullshit, though. And it's right in the text messages. I don't get this. Yeah. So, okay, I've got to read the rest. Okay. So, Nelson said Kessinger's got a relationship and Nelson just lets her tell her what she wants to share because that's what the bitch is going to do anyway. Nelson described Kessinger as private. Really? So blah, blah, blah. She told me that she actually barely remembers the text with Kessinger, of course. Nelson told me that Kessinger dates a lot, and in the past, she has not had the best luck in men. Oh, that's different than what she says.
Yeah.
She has dated, so Nelson typically does not ask about the details. I read the following text to Nelson. So on 8/12 at 2018 at 11/17, feel like every dude I meet has kids these days, and if they don't, they have commitment issues or some BS like Sean. I asked Nelson for some context to that text, and it seemed that a man with kids may be a negative thing based on the words and the text alone. Nelson said that she does not think Kessinger was against him having kids, and Kessinger wants kids too. She said she's had bad luck with men in her past. Kessinger wants to find someone, and when she does, it turns out the guy is lying or something. Of course, because it's always everyone else, right?
Right.
Kessinger seems to take it upon herself and feel like she is picking the wrong guys. No, she's just, never mind.
Wow.
Nelson encourages Kessinger that she will find someone. Nelson does not think the BS part in the text was meant as a negative, in that Kessinger felt the guy having kids was a negative. Nelson did not think that Kessinger actually met the guy's kids. She has no idea when or where Kessinger, this guy, hung out together. Nelson figured if it was working out, she would hear more about the guy from Kessinger. Kessinger did not tell Nelson anything about the guy's wife in their text. I asked how Kessinger is doing. Nelson told me she is a mess and says she cannot say much about the case. Nelson thinks Kessinger feels partially responsible, and maybe he went crazy because Kessinger came into the picture. Kessinger liked the guy. Nelson thinks Kessinger needs a good therapist. Well, that's for damn sure, Charlotte. I asked if there was any indication that Kessinger may want to maintain a relationship with the guy. Nelson said that Kessinger wants to cooperate in the fullest to make sure he stays in jail. I thanked Nelson for her time, and she agreed to send me screenshots of her text with Kessinger. Nelson promptly got back to me on September 6th and provided this. Hi, agent. I'm not going to read that from her because I'm just getting tired of reading. If that's
This
okay
is
with
unbelievable. I never saw.
you. I know.
You are great to find. I never saw this. This is unbelievable.
It's crazy. Let's see. I attempted to clarify this with Nelson. I asked her why you would be calling me, and she said it could be because of the text we exchanged, and then she showed me. I texted Nelson and called her. The phone went straight to voicemail like it was off. On September 7th, Nelson responded. She showed me the old text messages on her phone the night before last, on September 5th, when she was here at my house. We had went to Verizon earlier on that same day so she could get a new phone since the one she had wasn't working well. On the day they want the text messages from Charlotte. It must be that the messages were backed up and transferred over to the new phone, but really not in a complete way because some are missing and they're all screwed up.
So she had Charlotte with her the day she went to Verizon.
Yeah.
She never tells what's his name that. I know when she says she goes in. Oh wow.
Well, but this was after. This was in early September.
So
now she's getting yet another new phone.
Another phone?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So this is at least 3 phones. Oh. Yeah.
And that's the last communication with this Charlotte. So did Charlotte ever find the picture that Nicole sent of her and the guy? And I guess not. We would have seen that, and I guess that's a lot. That says a lot, though. I never saw that. That's great, Kelly, that you found that.
Yeah. I mean, I just, a couple of those things stood out to me when I was looking through it. That's why, and I'm actually working on a video about this. It's not done yet. I kind of jumped the gun there, but but whatever. It is what it's information, so we're talking about it. I definitely caught some of the things in there. What really stood out to me, I really got stuck on the discrepancy in the dates between what Kevin Kobach put in his supplement and what Stacey Galbraith did. But there's really a lot there. I don't know. What do you guys? So, hi, welcome, Kathy Williams. How are you? Kathy says, I didn't know that about the phones. Yeah, crazy, right?
Jesus. So that was her third phone?
Yeah, that's going to be the third that we know
Dear-
about.
Dear
Yeah,
Lord.
I know. And then and then Black Cadillac, and welcome Black Cadillac. How are you? Welcome to chat. Says NK said she hadn't been in SW's bedroom to the cops. Then she described the big bed. Exactly. One of the
Right.
many discrepancies. Thank you for pointing it out.
Bebop, trifling.
Kevin bashed 100 men in one day. What are you talking about, boy? Oh yeah, Ara, really good point. Says, and she could never remember her passwords to her email to transfer the contacts. You know
right.
what? I think we got to watch that.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
She was like really holding them hostage with that phone.
Yeah. Oh wait,
Like-
hold it. I promised Jamie I would go to her. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. That's right. Jamie had a question. It's a good one.
You know what?
Let me find it.
Yeah, could you do that? I'm gonna try to find that little.
It's hard
thank
to
you
find
very
it on.
much.
Let me look on because it's too hard.
I'm gonna try to find that little portion of that interview where she's struggling so much to I just can't remember my password, and then also where maybe we can also find where Kevin Kovac asks her like dude, why were you trying so hard to find him an apartment? Not quite like that, but sort of like that. So let me go try and check that out. And thank you very much, Curious. Really appreciate it.
Find Jamie, hang on. There's lots of comments I'm trying to see here. Oh.
And if you can't find it, you can just grab some other ones. I'll try to grab
it was Jamie Smith, right?
Yeah.
I see. Okay, Jamie. One was is wondering if she has a number machine nearby. I saw where a woman that wasn't the question though. No.
She did write it in all caps if that helps, and I appreciate when you guys do that. Yeah.
I like when it's in all caps. Maybe mine isn't just going. Oh, I know why. I think I have to go back a little bit on my phone. Hang on. If not, Jamie, in the meantime, if you don't mind retyping it just in case I can't find it.
Yeah.
Because
just grab whatever you can in chat. See if Jamie can retype it, or else I will grab it when I'm done with this.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh, here it is. Okay.
Oh, good. Awesome. Thank you.
It says that Kelly, didn't NK testify that he rarely went to a leak by himself?
Yes.
That she was supposedly safety person, yet she didn't find it unusual that he went there alone that day of the bodies being found. Well,
that's right.
I agree. Go ahead. That's all. Yeah. Good. You make a good point, Jamie. Did she even know there was a leak, or other than him telling her over the weekend? Don't you think her being the safety personnel, she'd be somebody on call that would be notified? We have leaks on wherever Monday morning. So and so was going out. It didn't seem like that she was made aware of that, other than him telling her he was going there. I could be wrong, but she didn't seem concerned like you would think someone in safety would be. I don't know if it's just because we look at everything so different now, but I don't remember that it was something she was notified of. But
no, I mean she would definitely never indicated that, and she talked about that 3 different times, and each of the 3 times she totally changed her story.
Glenette Bridges had asked, why did Shanann stay for 6 weeks in North Carolina, not 5 or not 7? I mean, they had been away, her and Chris. Where was that trip? The week before?
San Diego, or
San Diego. They came back from San Diego the same day she came back from San Diego. She got on a plane that night with her father and the kids, and they were in North Carolina right up until basically Chris came, spent some time, and then she had to come back home to go to Arizona on a trip. So it seemed like she had it planned out very well to stay there right until she couldn't, that she had to come home, go away with the girls for from Thrive, come home from that, and the next day was supposed to be Bella's first day of kindergarten.
Yeah.
So it
Mm-hmm.
seems to be planned out very well.
Pretty crazy. Whoops. Oh, shit. What's going on? Sorry.
You find it?
So,
Well, you-
I think I found the place.
Good.
I found one of the places where, let's see. I'm still gonna need another minute or
Okay,
two here.
that's all right.
Yeah. Okay, hold it. So, all right, wait. Sing. All right. Well, so what we're gonna listen to here, is okay. We're going to listen to one of the spots where she's talking about finding him an apartment. So I'm sorry to jump around, but that's what I can find right now in the transcript. So yeah, I'm able to get I have the transcript for all of these interviews, but they're hard to search because the transcription is not good,
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Let's see here. Let's grab that and see what's up. So we'll start right there. And put it on StreamYard. And here we go.
I was trying to think about how many days you getting back with you. So you said,
Okay.
Did you actually work on it for a week straight?
Okay, this is good. Yeah, let me go back a little because she's going on and on about the apartment.
Trying to find somebody, and so for the first few weeks that I hung out with him, he kind of dragged his feet on, hey, this is happening. And then after North Carolina, he's like, yeah, she wants to put the house up. She's the one that called the realtor. And I was kind of taken back, not necessarily at the speed of it, given how long he said that they've been separating, but the fact that she did it the day after he supposedly sat down and had a conversation with her about, hey, do we fix this or do we not fix this relationship?
So do you remember how many days she was back in Colorado before leaving? Do you know that?
Because I don't remember when they got home.
Right.
I don't.
I'm just trying to get
yes, you do.
Your memory jog there on that. But so this was, they get home, he had told you in North Carolina that they agreed to it. And they're finalized their relationship.
Yeah.
They get home and she immediately wants to sell the house.
Yes. And then, I started thinking, okay, well, I know in Colorado houses sell very fast here. So I was like, what's your plan? And I was like, because you might want to be prepared. And I remember that's when the whole concept came up of, you probably need to start looking for a new place pretty quick. And that was when he was kind of overwhelmed with it. And I told him, I was like, look, I just moved a few months ago. And I was like, to find a place that was comfortable for me, it was it took a lot of research. And that's when I offered to help. I was like, I'll help you. And he seemed pretty gung-ho about it for the first week. And he seemed very grateful. And I was putting in work on it. And I was calling him and kind of letting him know about places. And there really wasn't that many options in Brighton. I found one. I actually texted it to myself before I texted it to him because I still have that in my phone too. Because I found it and it was great, but it was right at the beginning of my search. And I was I don't want to inundate him.
So you said a week. Do you think you worked on that for a week?
No, I honestly only probably spent a few hours over a few days and just trying to line it up.
Just trying to think about how many days she had been back while you were working on that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So you said, did you actually work on it for a week straight?
No.
Okay.
It was just a couple days after work. I would just spend a couple hours if I had time, at the end of my day, or if I didn't go to the gym, and just sit down.
At the end of the day, I'd spend a couple hours at the gym. I would love. I was looking obsessively. Yeah. Now, I just want to point this out at work. Yeah, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah says, how did she research if there are no Google searches in the discovery? That's right, Sarah, because those would probably be important, wouldn't they? Dun, dun, dun. Once again, not in the discovery. All right.
More redacted.
More redacted.
And I mean, I can give you a date on one that I worked on because I texted that one to myself. This one, I love this one. When is this? Saturday, August 11th.
Oh, wow.
Today,
Look
you
at
guys
that,
know.
guys. When is she texting Chris Watts emails about the apartment she found for him? Saturday, August 11th. And she puts her hand up to her face because she wants to block that one. Crap. I can't believe I told him I was going to tell him this.
Mhm.
2 days before the family was murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a lazy dog.
Yes.
Or the two lazy dogs. All right. What else?
Yeah, so the reason that this is important is because he, like, up to that point, seemed like he was all about it, you know, and I was respecting him. I wasn't like, oh, you need to get this, you need to get that. I was like,
Yeah, you
what
are.
city do you want to live in? What side of town is she staying in? You know, how close do you want to be to work? How close do you want to be to your kids? I mean, I asked him everything. I just wanted him to have something that was accommodating for his whole family. And he told me that she was probably going to stay in the Frederick area, but he never said for sure. The first time I asked him, he's like, I don't know where she's going to go, but she'll probably stay in this area. And I was like, Chris, if you're going to get an apartment, like, you need to figure that out, because the last thing you want is to be like an hour drive from your kids. Like, you know, you've got to be close. And so, I ended up asking him again, like a couple days later, and that was when, he was like, I think she's staying in the Frederick area, and I was like, okay. And that's when I was like, started to get details, like, where, and if you guys find my text, you'll see it, where I'm asking, like, where do you want to live? Like, how close do you want to be to work? Those things, like, you know, do you care what gym you go to? Like, what are you looking for? You
We
know,
talked about this previously.
Yeah. So the thing was he was like super gung ho about it, and then on Saturday, that day, I remember being outside with him when this conversation happened, but I don't know where. I don't know if we were like walking into the restaurant or walking to the car, but I like vaguely remember being outside with him. And I was like, he had told me that he wanted to go look at some places that upcoming week. And we were supposed to go do that on Wednesday. And I was like, I asked him, I was like, what places do you want to go see? And I was like, did you really like that place that I showed you? Because it was just like super convenient for everything. And it had a little playground and it had a pool. Like, it would have been awesome for his kids. And it was cheap. And so, and it was like close to Frederick. It was like, it was close to the gym. It was close to work. It was close to me. It was close to everything. And it was in Brighton, which is what he wanted. And so, I was like, did you want to go check that place out? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And he like didn't seem sure anymore. And that was the part that I wanted to tell you. I just figured I'd give you all the backstory.
Sure. So he's not sure about the particular apartment or about even leaving?
So he told me that he looked at it and he told me that he thought it was nice, but it didn't really seem like his interest was that piqued. And I was like, well, did you find anything that you really wanted to look at? And he told me, yeah, that he found a few, but nothing that really, really piqued his interest. And I was like, well, you might want to get started. And he's like, well, I found one. And I asked him, I said, which one is it? Because I think I've looked at like every apartment in Brighton and maybe I'll remember it. And he's like, I don't know, I don't remember the name of it. And he kind of just like disregarded it. And it was kind of strange to me because like the whole week prior, he was like so excited that I was trying to help him because he's busy, I'm busy. So I was like, you look, I'll look, let's see if we can try to narrow it down to like 4 or 5 spots, and then we'll find something that's good for you and your girls, you know? And he seemed like very enthusiastic about it, like during the week when the conversations first really started ramping up about like, you probably got to figure something out because that house is going to sell really fast, you know, or at least be prepared. And
so why do you think he was removed or not interested on your Saturday night, wherever you guys were?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes like I think about these things and I feel like they're all assumptions, but at that point, like maybe he already knew something that I didn't. I don't know. But it was just a complete mood change where he just didn't even seem that interested. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, we don't have to do that on Wednesday if you don't want to. And he's like, no, I know I need to get it done. And I was like, all right. You know, because I wasn't gonna like force him to do it. If he doesn't want to do it, don't do it. Just say no, you know. And I was like, and for me, I was like, I was just offering to help because like I know what a tedious task it is trying to find a new place to live.
Oh, so helpful.
What else? Any other new info?
That part where he was just like really unplugged on Saturday, and then there was something else that went with that. Let me just think for a minute. I didn't write all this down. I just wrote that part down.
What did he ask her? I'm sorry, Kelly. I didn't hear.
Oh, wait. Nothing. Wait, hold on,
Okay,
let me
because
see.
she puts her hand on her face like, oh.
Oh, let me see here. Let me go back a minute or so. Let's see.
And I was like, all right. You know, because I wasn't gonna like force him to do it. If he doesn't want to do it, don't do it. Just say no, you know. And I was like, and for me, I was like, I was just offering to help because like I know what a tedious task it is trying to find a new place.
Minimizing.
Yeah.
What else? Any other new info?
That part where
Any other new info he says.
Unplugged on Saturday, and then there was something else that went with that. Let me just think for a minute. I didn't write all this down. I just wrote that part down. I can't believe I can't remember all this stuff.
You remember so much stuff already.
Slowly comes to me all the time. Well, some of this stuff is just things that you would never think about. Now that I'm like, hindsight's 20/20. I'm like,
Now that I've got my shit together, at least I think I do.
Saturday that had to do with all of this.
Think about it for a minute. I'm going to see if my tech guy has his equipment charged. And we'll get your phone taken care of.
Okay.
So again, I'm going to have you sign this.
Get your phone taken care of.
It's the same thing that you signed in Thornton, saying that, you know, I didn't threaten you, intimidate you. You have a right to say no. I want you to read the document again. We're going to take your phone. We're going to use a program called Celebrate. If you go to your phone store, that's what they use. Sometimes they used to do this. They used to move your stuff back and forth. It's the same thing. They're going to take that information, and then an examiner who is skilled in looking at cell phone data is going to look at it to try to recover the deleted material that we're after.
I hope
So,
they can get
the deleted material is what I'm after.
I know it is. I feel so bad that I did that. I didn't even honestly, like, that's not even what I was thinking about.
She doesn't, you know, she spoon feeds information to
Yeah.
a little bit at a time. She keeps,
So you're
really
okay.
has him hostage.
Just take the whole phone. Just take it. Because I feel like we've been trying
I'm
to
going to
do
put
this, like,
all data on here just for ease,
take what
okay?
you need,
So read that and make sure you sign it, that you understand that we're going to take all the data. Once I have all that stuff, I'll get your phone back to you.
That's
Okay?
okay. I mean, I'm not even going to use it anymore. I'm going to just use this.
Okay. I'm going to still get it back to you as soon as we're done.
Okay.
All right? So next week sometime.
Oops. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Can you see the chat, darling?
Yeah, I'm looking now. One says he sounds like he's selling her a car. The contract and let's see. Not the way the cops. What? Go ahead.
Wait, oh, I'm sorry. Hold it. I just found. I was just looking through the transcript. So right now, I want to let you know we're at 44 minutes, but here I found at 48 minutes, and just 4 minutes from now, she goes back to rambling on about the apartment again. So let's go right to that since we were just on that topic and see what she continues to ramble about. Oh my God, this girl is crazy. Okay, so the tech guy came in, and all right, here we go.
She blew his mind.
I know. He's like, I'm getting out of here, man.
I'm out of here.
Let's see. I know. Oh my God. It might be worth listening to, but I'm gonna look into that.
Okay.
After I'm on with you guys, and then I'll get my stuff together, and then we'll go from there. Okay. All right. So Mr. Techley, okay.
I think that's important.
That he had all that set up? I don't know. I mean, it made me believe that.
That he was ready to move out? Is that?
Okay, hold it. Let me go
Oh,
back.
I get what. I don't really have that nice of a place, and it's not a 2-bedroom. It's a 1.
Mm.
So that part kind
She just can't stop talking about it.
of not as scary as I thought.
What'd you remember? You just said you remember something besides that. Reason.
Oh, you want to have a conversation right now?
He's an agent. He works with me. He knows about
I
things
can
too.
step out if you feel more comfortable.
Oh, no, I mean,
It's
I
okay,
don't know,
if-
whatever.
You tell me.
He had a fire stick. He kept talking about, you know what a fire stick is?
No.
Okay, you probably do, since you're a tech guy. They're like.
Wow.
Oh, you mean like an Amazon Fire Stick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so he didn't have it in his possession, but on
Who's he
Saturday.
though, Chris?
Yes. So Chris mentioned to me that on Saturday, that same day, because this kind of went hand in hand with the whole like apartment talk.
Wait a
Wow, here
minute.
we go.
So-
Wow,
so
her
wait.
flight of thoughts are killing me. Her flight of thoughts are killing me right now.
They are, but the whole issue of the fire stick, guys. He was well, we'll see what she has to say, but he apparently was, jailbreaking the fire stick so he could get some sports challenge or something.
Mhm.
I think she's probably going to say he wants to save money, so that may be how she's tying it into what she's babbling about. But why would she bring that up? Like, why? I don't know.
I know.
Let's see what she has to say.
Just a distraction.
I was like, oh, that apartment that he said he found that he was like, I was like, well, what's it called? And he's like, I don't remember. And I was like, well, how much is it? He's like, it's close to $1,100. And I was really taken back by that because I pay more than that. And I don't really have that nice of a place. And it's not a 2-bedroom. It's a 1. So that part kind of seemed odd to me, but I'd seen a few things online that were kind of cheap. And I was just like, all
Yeah,
right. And he's
I
like,
remember
I'm just
that.
trying to cut costs. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, how else are you doing that? And it was just out of curiosity. And he's like, well, I decided to get rid of cable. And I was like, okay. And I was kind of taken back by that too, because he loves sports. Dude, like, lives and breathes football. So I was like, okay. And I was like, that's a good cost to, to cut back on. And he was like, yeah, I think I can still stream sports via a Fire Stick. And I've heard of those things before. I don't really know a lot about them. But he was saying that he had a buddy working on it already for him.
Who's the buddy?
He didn't say, I didn't ask.
Why do you think that's important?
That he had all that set up? I don't know. I mean, it made me believe that.
That he was ready to move out? Is that?
Oh, I
He's
get what
ready
you're
to go?
saying. Yeah, like he was prepping. It still sounded like he was prepping. I mean, everything he did sounded like he was getting ready for everything to happen. The only thing that I found really peculiar about the whole situation was the fact that he just kind of seemed disconnected about the apartment thing on Saturday, whereas in previous conversations, he was the one who brought it up, and he was the one who seemed really excited about it when I offered to help him do some like legwork on trying to find him a spot for him and his girls.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know who his friend was. It was just weird because sometimes it seemed like some of the things he said, he was still really. A lot of things he said made sense. It still to this day makes sense. And then other things that he said don't make sense at all to me anymore. Or like they changed,
Sure. Well, you know a lot more now. Well, unfortunately, you know a lot more now about.
I don't believe. Wait, I don't. Stop. Okay. I don't believe for a hot second that she didn't know who his friend was. She worked with him. She saw him every day.
Right.
It was Troy, and she worked with him every day. And she just, in that little period, said she didn't know who the friend was 3 times. And at the very end, she says, without being prompted, I don't know who the friend was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's keep listening, because I think this next part's important too, I think.
Okay.
It's the way you're thinking about what he said, too. So, making you think differently about those kind of, that verbiage. Right?
Definitely.
So we've talked a lot about a lot of different things.
I hope I'm helping you guys.
It's a good way of summing up a lot.
Because I don't like having stuff on the top of my head. It's so hard, and so many days I can tell that my mind is trying to like block it all out right now, and I think it's almost like a subliminal like coping mechanism, and I'm trying not to. I'm trying to like think about it so that I can.
Your mind's blocking out nothing, bitch. What were you gonna say, Rose?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's so hard for her. We just found out there's a triple, murder, but
Right, I know.
life is so hard for her.
I know.
Jesus,
She's so self-involved.
so self-absorbed. It's sickening.
That's why.
So why don't you give yourself a break for a day or two and just live a normal life? Stop thinking about this stuff for a day or two and then revisit it. Maybe that'll help you because you look like you're tired again.
I lost my job.
You're tired.
You lost your job with the geosciences place as well? Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Oh wow, she lost both
Oh.
jobs. I didn't realize
You
that. I
mentioned
never realized that.
they should
Wait, what do you mean both jobs?
Another
Okay, just one second.
locale.
So she said you lost your because Geosciences was a company that she worked for
Oh,
that
right.
had the contract with it. So she lost the job with Geosciences as well.
Oh, they let her go.
Not
Okay.
Justin and Darko. I just never caught that before.
I didn't either.
I hope people
Yeah.
see my name on a resume and just.
Okay, so this part is actually important, but we're going to start streaming over so many topics
Why? What is it?
if we go there. So I promise I will bring it back to you guys. I'm going
Okay.
to prepare some material on it because it's just starting to get too crazy and it's getting late. And so I don't want to get into a new topic. But oh my gosh.
So what day was this? What day was this interview?
August 23rd. This
Okay.
was the last interview that she had with law enforcement. Yeah. That's that. And somebody I just saw in chat, I can't find it now. I'm sorry I'm not pinning it. If I do find it, I'm scrolling, I'll pin it. But somebody said that I found out Shanann was involved with two other MLMs. Well, I extensively researched that one, and she actually was involved with 9 MLMs. 9.
Wow.
Yeah. So for whatever that means, I just wanted to throw that out there because that's a factoid that I happen to know, and
Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah,
I'm
I
just
know.
looking at the chat right now.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, crazy.
So the company that she was working, she was a primary employee by, let her go.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? So was just like a hearsay gossip I heard that was like Jim's company? Was that not true?
I don't think that's true. People
Okay.
have said that, but I think that's I don't think that's true. Mm-hmm.
So they let her go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When is
I
the
know.
interview? When is that interview when they have the woman that comes in from that's really nice, like telling her like you'll find another job and tries
It's this
to
interview. It's this interview. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Mhm.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
She tries to be
Yeah.
so positive, and Kay's just so like rude to her. I feel bad for the woman.
I know. She is so rude to her. She's like, I don't want to be talking to you at all. Yeah.
Is this when the two women come into Tammy and Stacy and both introduce themselves to her, or did we miss that?
Say that again. Nope, that's this one too. Yeah,
This
one.
is a great. I mean, a lot
This
happened.
is a really good interview. Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, do you guys want to continue watching it? Let me know in chat if you want to continue watching it, because I mean, I could certainly keep playing it.
I think they're into it.
Are you guys? All right, I'm just gonna keep playing it then, okay? And then
Good.
and
Okay.
whatever comes up, comes up. I
Oh,
might
thanks.
go get something to go get, like I have to go get some. I think I'm gonna make coffee actually, because I still want to do a couple
Okay.
things before bed.
I could talk.
So yeah,
Okay.
we'll just play,
Absolutely.
talk, blah blah blah. I wish you could pause it too, but I don't think you can. But
No, I know, but that's okay. There's so much to pick up on this interview.
Yeah.
It's really a good one.
Totally, this is a really good one. Yeah, keep going. Why not? That's right, guys. Why not? Let's do it. Woohoo! Tell us, enchilada. Tell us, taquito. Tell us. Dígame. All right.
Keep talking. I just wanted
Well, your
to
name
keep
hasn't
talking.
even made it in the papers yet.
Not yet.
So remember you said that you had some locations you could go out of state. Maybe, I don't know if that's what you're thinking or whatever is going to work for you.
Yeah, I'm thinking a lot about all of that. It's just a matter of timing and trying to figure out when to do it. Hesitant to do it all too soon and then have to do it all over again.
Tell me the name of the geosciences company. I forget.
I think I was just so bummed because they told me that they would keep me, and then they called me back and let me go, and I was just like, man.
So did they essentially fire you?
That's why we have fraternization policies. I learned about that in my onboarding.
For lack of a better term? And that was yesterday?
Yeah. So they let me go because they hired me to do a contract job, and now that contract was over. It was unfortunate because Anadarko actually offered to pay me for a while, and I said no.
Oh, wow.
So I just wish they would have been honest with me in the first place.
Everyone is mentioning about like with her with
No, you're looking
Shannon's
for a
like
job.
choices with the MLMs, and I think it's a good point. She was enthralled, I think, with that whole lifestyle.
She was, and I see some of the questions there. I've done a few videos about it, and I will. How about this? I will schedule a live stream, and we'll just focus on that sometime soon. Because if I even start to go into that topic, you guys
It's
know
too
how
much.
I will go off. Yeah,
It's too much.
and
Yeah.
I have a lot to say. Yeah.
Okay.
But I
good.
will address it, guys. I will. In the next week, I'll schedule a live stream, and we'll just focus on that. Okay.
That's great. Yeah.
I am starting doing that. It's not even like a priority to me at this point, but it will get dealt with. So yeah, if I need people to help me out with this lease and sell my truck and change my entire life, and hopefully somebody somewhere will give me a decent job and give me a chance and not judge for all of this whole disaster. So that's what it's.
You said Hazel was helping you out with some of your lease stuff. All right. So
Yeah.
when we're here, I think she usually comes in the afternoon today. So we'll check with her.
I think Matt just left the other way looking for me, but he'll come out eventually.
Awesome. So you must want this for something.
I'm gonna trash my phone. I'm gonna trash my phone.
This one? Yeah.
Here.
What's this? Oh, this is the Verizon call logs?
To the 13th.
From what date to what date? You want this one back?
It's a month.
Sorry. No, you're good.
I don't know, it's a month, so it's probably whatever 30 days was, probably July 14th, I'd assume, so August 13th. You'll see it, when you open it up, you'll see it. But it's a month. So my
So
billing.
can I just take this real quick and move it off your thumb drive and I'll give you your thumb drive?
You can do whatever you want, that's yours.
You don't need this back?
No, I mean, you can give it back if you want.
Yeah, I'll just go download this to my computer real quick.
I think, so it's a month. It ends on the 13th, and that's why I was saying, when they bill me next month, then I can give you the 14th and past that. And I could have given you the 14th now, but because they haven't billed me for it, like this is in a nice PDF, but the unbilled one is like in this janky Excel format, and you could like manipulate the data. I don't
So what is on here specifically? PDF of your complete phone bill for your cell phone?
That ends on August 13th. Everything after that,
I'm gonna go put this on my phone. Or on my computer.
My lease agreement is on there, and I told Hazel that you had it.
Okay,
So
I'll share it
that's
with
for
her.
her because she needs that.
Yep,
And then there's also like a computer record of me talking to the Verizon wireless people, asking them if they can restore my text and what they had to say about it, just so that you guys know that I did the due diligence to attempt.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
No, I don't. That's
So the
unbelievable.
messages that synced up when you started are on this phone, right? So when she started it, this phone's like 2 years old.
Okay.
But when she turned it on, a bunch of deleted messages from Chris that were on that
Uh-huh.
phone synced up with that phone.
Okay.
So that's the one I want to try to rip.
Okay, so we're gonna download this phone, but
This
we wanna
one's
get
coming
the
as evidence.
context.
Yep.
on
Exactly.
here.
So
Okay.
this one's going to be coming with us as evidence. That one will just rip, so she has a phone.
I need you to log into Google.
I was trying to figure this out. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't know her password.
Might be an issue.
I know. I mean, if you guys really can't do it,
She doesn't know
I'm
her
sure
password.
we can figure out who is-
There's another way we can do it, or we can try.
I don't know about you guys, but I can recover my Google password if I need to. I mean, you were just locked out of your account, Rose.
Yes.
Was it because you didn't know you couldn't? I don't know
Well,
why.
because it took. I tried after maybe 3 times. It's like, all right, you're gonna have to wait.
Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, I don't know. It just seems like I have always been able to recover passwords through Google. I just, I can't remember my password. I'm sorry. As much as you use Google to search, I just don't believe that you don't know your password. I just don't believe that. That's just no.
And this
Not
was,
you,
yeah, but she would have had it back. And I mean, I had mine back within, 72 hours at the most. So
Weird.
But when you're dealing with the FBI, I'm sure you'd get it back even quicker.
That's right. I know. Jeez, for real.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. I was
Okay.
messing with this before you walked in here.
Okay. And that's the only way you can download apps, right?
Let's do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to figure
I'm
it out.
not an Android guy, so I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't used Android phone in like 2 years.
Okay.
I guess I'll have to figure this out. That sucks, but it's okay. I
Well, there's another thing that we can try.
sorry.
Nope. Did you have text messages on? So when I looked up to
I mean,
Wi-Fi, I think you got a couple more extra.
oh, I got these. Yeah, this came in on my other phone. This was like right when I transferred.
So I think your contacts should be connected to iCloud now, so you shouldn't lose them. And we can try and use the machine that we use to download the phones. We can also transfer. I've never done that, so I don't know how it's going to work. We're going to give it a shot.
Okay. That would be so nice because I was looking at these messages and I was like, oh my God, like, don't know.
Right.
I mean, again, I'm sure I could figure it out pretty quick if I read the text.
Yeah.
They're all different.
Okay.
And so you would just save me a lot of time and stress.
Okay, and then we're keeping this one,
Yes.
downloading it and giving it back.
Yeah, and then this one, I think he only gets one number off of, and that one you guys are taking everything.
Okay, we're keeping this phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's yours.
Okay. All right, let me go see if I can transfer the contacts.
Do you want to go wall charger or go?
I'll just put here so I don't forget it, but I don't need it right now. I'll be right back. We're in a little bit.
They're all probably like, no, you go in and talk to her now. I'm done. I'm tired. I can't do it anymore. No, you go in.
I would go back. Probably like, for the love of God. This is the last time, by the way, that he actually. This was his last time. After this, it got handed off to bomb over.
Right. That's sad. That's sad.
All right, we're just gonna go. I mean, there's some good body language stuff here, but we're just gonna go through this part because seriously. So let me get to where somebody comes back in, and I think it's the.
Okay.
I think it's the. I mean, do you want to hear the part with this grief counselor person or no?
No, I mean, there's nothing really
No, nothing really.
She's just rude to her. There's nothing
Yeah,
significant.
she's
Yeah,
exactly.
she's just ignorant to her.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so she's still there, but Kobach just came in, so I'll start again here.
Okay.
119. Okay.
The messages that uploaded when you redid your phone. So that's taken, it shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, there's not much on there.
Yeah.
It's pretty short.
It should take just a few minutes and then we're done.
They're all like, they're not even on the right date, some of them. It's really weird how they're time stamped.
Okay.
Like there's one on there on the 13th, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was a conversation.
Between you and Chris?
Yeah, but it was like not that same day.
How convenient.
The
Like-
13th was a Wednesday.
Or the 12th.
No, it wasn't, you guys. The 13th was the Monday when the family was killed. And how convenient is that she's saying there was a message on the 13th, but it wasn't that day? You know,
No.
Come on now.
Well, that's why this is his last day interviewing her.
Yeah, geez.
Jesus.
I don't.
All right.
It's
We'll
not in the
look at
right
them.
spot. They're not in the right spot.
Maybe the date on the phone was messed up. I don't know. I'll look at the phone and we'll see.
Well, it's out of order. Like, unless I'm confused, but I'm pretty sure the last text on there between me and him was actually probably somewhere in the middle of the text.
So when you say out of order,
Like, it's saying, oh, hey, this happened on, like, Tuesday, but really, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that happened at a different point.
okay. All right.
It's
So
only that
if
one.
it's critical, we'll talk about it.
I don't think,
I need to look at the text first, though, before I know.
of course.
Okay.
Understood.
You probably want to go.
Yes.
Because you have your next client coming in.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. And I'll send you those therapists and, just get started and giving them a call and seeing who you think is going to be a good fit for you. So this we can have it ready so that when says yes, we can get started right away. And if you need any help, make those calls. You start making them and realize you just can't do it on your own. Just call me about Joe and I can just call with you and be there with you.
Thanks.
Okay. And if you want to, try to give the guy from CDW a call.
I will definitely call him. That is on my priority list at this point.
Yes, no, I understand that. I understand. And I'm sure he'll say it depends on what your contract says. So if you have your contract with them where your dad can get to it, it's probably at your house. If you have it where your dad can get to it or something to get for you to send to him, that's probably really helpful.
I have it. It's all remote.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't have to go back to the hospital.
Okay, good. Good. Okay.
Thank you so much, Hazel.
And call me or text me anytime, okay? I appreciate it. Thanks, Jason.
All right. I'm going to see where he's at. What else? Anything else for here that you can think of or you want to address or you remember?
Sometimes I feel like I remember stuff, but it's like vague. You know? I'm like, I don't know. I don't
And not
know.
everything's important, obviously. I know I tried to get you to remember as much as I could because a lot of the stuff that you have told me over the last couple conversations is relative and it's important. And I appreciate you going back and looking at calendars and doing all that stuff. But stop thinking about this for a while. I think we've got everything. I don't think you can remember anything more. We've had a lot of conversations about this case. So just give yourself a break. Go have dinner with one of your friends and nobody knows who you are.
Not yet.
So even better to make that happen. Whoever you trust in, like Charlotte or whoever your other friends are, go have a normal night and not sit at your house and dwell on this. It might do you wonders, okay?
Are they gonna post anything if they don't find out anything? Because I'm just surprised they haven't.
About
done
what?
anything yet. About me. I mean, it's been 4 days.
You know that they are dying to find out who you are.
I know. They haven't even reached my inner circle yet. It's been 4 days.
You got good friends.
Yes, I do.
So be thankful for that. And we've had this conversation. Is it, you said you're thinking about going somewhere else? Go.
I don't know when I'm gonna do that. And can you guys help me with the name change? You like do that? I'm serious, please.
So I can't do anything for you. That's a legal process. It's,
Yeah, Karen.
really
I
not
can't
that
remember
difficult.
who does.
There's just paperwork that needs to be filled out. I think your best bet would just be to call, and maybe ask an attorney to help you with that, or seek advice from, I don't even know who you'd call, honestly, but people change their name all the time when they get married. So it's probably the county clerk. But it's I think it would have to be at the state level to make a change. But I don't know specifically how to do that. I don't.
Does that like become public? Because that would defeat the purpose.
I don't know. I know it can be done. I just don't know how to do it. I don't even know who to reach out. I mean, I could find out and let you know. But I don't know how to do it. Like the witness protection thing is very, very rare.
I'm not expecting that.
Yes.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going to hurt you, all those things. So.
No, I'm not expecting that. I don't even know. Like sometimes I'm like, I just want to do it now, and I'm like, why? Because
But if you go to another
I
state,
feel like it would defeat the purpose. Part of me, I keep getting really scared that it's going to be really hard to find good employment for like a really long time, like years. I feel like people aren't going to want to hire
if you go to another state, this is not headlines in that state. You realize that.
I mean, yeah, I do.
And if I do a background on you, you're a good employee. It doesn't come up that you dated Chris Watts and you're involved in this case. It doesn't work that way. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
But, I mean, I just feel like this is just like one of those things that if it goes to court, it's going to be like.
Well, I mean, it's national right now, but it's not like, it's not the theater event that happened in the war 7 years ago, right? That everybody in the world knew about. It's not that. So certainly for you, you're under the microscope and you're feeling it. And nothing anybody can change that for you. So I get it. But I think you need to just step back for a minute, take a breath, figure out what you're going to do. Obviously, you have some very serious decisions to make over the next, couple of months.
I'm trying to find out how to do all this without spending all this savings. Saving up for a house, I'm just like, damn it.
But at least you have savings to fall back on too. A lot of people can't say that.
Yeah, that is true. Well, since they fired me, I hope I get unemployment for a little while so I can like get my mind right and go to therapy and then go back to work at that point. Cause I am not ready. So.
Going back to work might be a good thing for you though. Then sit and think about this every day.
I don't know. I agree with that. Finding a job is a big task. That's why I told her, she's like, why don't you reach out to some of your friends, about a job? It's like, well,
they don't know what's going on.
No, they don't now, but what I don't want is somebody to give me a reference and then they find out what's going on. I think that's really disrespectful.
I think you reach out specifically to an employer, not a person. I don't know anything about the oil industry, but other companies like who you work for. I have this skill and I'd like to come to work for you.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about reaching out to some old employers. I've always been a really good employee to those people. Everybody when I leave is pretty disappointed. This is the first time I've ever been terminated from a job. So,
sometimes that can be tough to get over too.
It's hard. This was like the dream job. I feel awful about all of this. Like, I wanted that for so long to get out of the oil field. I was so tired of living on oil rigs. It's such a rough life. I just want to be in the office and work in environmental for an oil company. And I finally got it, and all this happened.
Well, you have that skill set now, so maybe you can move back into that.
I hope so. We will see.
I just have to say, maybe you shouldn't have slept with a coworker at your dream job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you guys. Am I in trouble because I deleted his text?
You're not in trouble.
I didn't know what was going on at that point.
So, I know Does that cause questions?
Of course
it does. There is, but is it criminal? No. Is there concern that you're hiding something? Potentially. That's why I want them, or I wouldn't be asking for them.
I know.
And you've
you've
been upfront with me about everything. I don't have a concern that you ever told Chris, I don't want you, go kill your wife, or get rid of your kids, or I don't want to date you if you have kids. None of those things ever came out of your mouth. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
So, but until those text messages that are deleted are there, and all that, it's just speculation. But it's kind of like, why did you do that? And I get your excuse. I understand what you're saying, that on Tuesday you realized who this man was and what he had done. You didn't want him to be part of your life anymore, so you got rid of it.
I didn't even want to see it in my phone. It was like freaking me out because I remember I had like deleted them, and then he sent me another text, and then I deleted that one too.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't want to deal with this. By the way, when you're looking through those texts, look for his ABC phone for that one conversation we had where he screenshotted me what he did on Monday. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you said that's his Anadarko phone.
Okay. And that should be the only like recent, like there's probably stuff if you guys are able to pull up from way back that we talked, but nothing.
The thing we talked about was him proving that he went to the oil field.
That he went to work.
That he went to work that morning at whatever site he was supposed to go to check on the
so that'll be in there.
release.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And then I don't know, am I allowed to like address my friends and tell them please no comment to the media? I mean, I haven't been telling them anything else.
I would not talk with anybody about any of this case. Except, I mean, I know you need to talk to a therapist, and you need to talk, I'm sure you're talking to your dad.
To some extent, I mean, when he's not in here for this, I don't tell him about this. I tell him I'm coming down here, but he doesn't need to know anymore.
You're an adult. You made some decisions that caught you in a bad situation. But there's nothing wrong with you talking to somebody. I just wouldn't go into details.
No, I haven't even been telling people I'm a witness for anything.
Certainly your best friend, I mean, if I was you, I'd be confiding in my best friend, like, hey, this is what's happening in my life and I need help. Is there anything wrong with that? No.
I mean, that's about as far as confiding has gone, was me telling her about some guy that I was hanging out with, but that was like way before any of this.
Yeah, and you need support right now too. So you're not in trouble. There's no charges against you. You're simply a witness.
I just want to point out how she said, that's as far as when I was telling her about some guy that I was hanging out with, but that was way before this, like on August 12th, the day before the murders.
Right. Yeah.
Tough, man. This is tough. This is not right.
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't want to like get in trouble for like talking to like my dad or like asking a friend for help. Well, I mean like my dad already knows, you know what I'm saying?
There's nothing to get in trouble for.
Okay, I don't know how that works. That's why I'm asking. I'm like, I don't. This is one more thing I don't on my plate because oh my god.
You're not in trouble, and talking to your friends and family about what's going on isn't going to get you in trouble. Okay.
I don't even want to talk to my friends about it. I don't even want anybody to know. I mean, they're going to find out, but I figure the reason that I think I'm staking out from the media as long as I have been is because nobody knows anything. And because my inner circle's really awesome.
Maybe.
I don't know. They haven't even.
Or they just, because you're not on social media?
At all. But I mean, I eliminated all of that.
Right.
I like even had the ability to like go through. I went and found everybody I knew that had any public posts, and it was just like, this needs to be cleared.
Right. So you've made it very difficult for them to find you. Do I think eventually that at some point they are going to find you? Sure, of course.
I think they're going to find out where I'm staying at. I think that would be really tricky.
I don't know. You haven't even told me where you're staying, so and I don't know how it's connected to you or your family. So, I mean, if it's in your family's name, certainly it wouldn't be that hard to figure it out. So, if that, there's ways to find out where people are staying, but they're limited. I mean, unless somebody knows about this place that talks to them.
Nobody.
So,
Nobody.
All right.
Doesn't even know where it's at.
Let me check on this. Yeah, let me check on this phone.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, I'm not ready to go.
I know you're ready to go.
Check on this phone.
So he's printing your contacts. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, now I'll just move through this part where he leaves, and then there's, let me see what's going on here. So, oh yeah, we got 116 chat. We'll keep her going. Hello everyone in chat. How are you doing? So I'm gonna just move past this part here where Kobach is out of the room,
banging his head on the wall.
I know, I am never going back in there.
This job, I don't get paid enough for her to be texting me at 2 a.m.
He's like, who's giving me a raise? Show me the money.
Exactly.
So funny. All right, here we go. Okay.
Oh, for those.
The messages that came from Chris that you said showed up on the phone?
Yeah. I don't think any of the ones from the Adorable phone came in, but I don't know the number.
Okay.
I didn't see it. Maybe you can give me that number. We can check that out too.
I can probably get it real quick. Show me the ones that you think came from him. Those
I'll
9.
show it. Yeah, I know.
And
9
0.
Boom, right there.
So I am going to take photographs of these in lieu of downloading it with
You want
this.
me to just screenshot them and send them
Well,
to
but
you?
there's no way to do that.
No, I mean, screenshot right here.
This isn't hooked up to Wi-Fi or anything, is it?
No, but I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It'll come in clearer, or you can watch me do it. That's what I'm saying. What
Yeah,
if I
and then you wanna-
screenshot them and then text them to you right now?
Yeah. Or
Why in God's name is he trusting her to screenshot things and send it to him? I mean, this is just crazy.
Yeah, that is not the way. I mean, what FBI would just take that as like Bible? Just screenshot them and send me. Come on now.
Crazy.
you can email them to me.
I'll just send it to you right now.
Or you can email them to me. Just email them to me.
Manipulate the data and then email them to me. I mean, this is why this was his last day. Jesus.
Loyal, truthful, dedicated, doesn't play games. It just makes me so sad to read this and think like.
So are these some of the ones that you deleted?
I deleted everything that he sent me. But these are just old. Like, look how old.
And was there any from those dates?
Yes. So look, like these 6/27, 6/29, and these are old, and then they seem to be. See, and then we're missing the 2nd and the 3rd, and then there's the 4th.
Okay, so there's a lot of messages.
Kind of, but then then there's no 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th, and then there's the 9th, but it's only one text, and then the 17th, one text.
And you guys text how many times a day?
All the time. I bet you guys have hundreds of messages that you need to recover. But yes, so here's the 11th. But look, there's only one from the 11th.
Can I just see what he said?
Yeah. And then the only text I think might be out of order, is the one at the very end. I just wish they were more complete, and I don't understand why they're coming in bits and pieces. Like, what's causing that?
So the 10th, oh, you went to the Rockies game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see him that day. I was with my friends, but I stayed with me that night.
Okay, so this one's on Sunday night.
Yeah, that's
at
right.
4:07 p.m. What's he talking about? Pounding fruit? Is that you or him?
That's him.
Talking.
Oh, so he was talking about that birthday party he was going to go to? Whoever was hosting it, I don't remember. Like, he told me the name once, but
Jeremy?
I forgot. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Like, the only names that I remember very well is Nick and Mark. Those are the only two that I could be like, oh yeah, like I could tell you, like, maybe a little bit
Those are his
about
friends?
those people. Yeah.
Okay.
But he went to the birthday party, and he said, oh, this guy always barbecues. And then he was saying, oh, he didn't barbecue, so he was saying he had fruit and asparagus. Didn't do any smoked barbecue this time. He did hot dogs, so he was saying he avoided that. He was like trying to eat healthy.
So this is the final one.
This is the one, I don't know if this is in order, I'm not sure exactly what this is referring to. I think this one at the bottom, this, oh my god, that's absolutely ridiculous, they would freak out. That, do you remember when I told you, like, I was always trying to, like, incorporate his kids and stuff? I mean, even if it wasn't, like, directly, like, me and him, but just, like, I was always thinking of cute stuff when I'd see stuff, and I was like, oh my god, little girls would like that. I would show him, and I found this box of Lucky Charms that was unicorn Lucky Charms.
Okay.
And I thought they were really cute, and I texted it to him, and I was like, do your little girls know about these? Because they're awesome. And I was like, little stuff like that.
So
And
that's,
I don't think that that's the 13th, because I don't think I talked to him that day. What day was the 13th? I can't remember.
Monday,
Was it Monday?
I think. I gotta look, because I can't.
I think it will, no, well then maybe these are in order. Monday was the day I think that I sent that text.
Yes, that's Monday morning at 2:44 p.m. So that's an afternoon, Monday. Does that sound right?
It was at work when I texted it to
Okay.
him.
So that fits.
Okay, so then it is in order, so it is in order,
So
And this
is the
makes
12th.
because that's Sunday, right?
That's Sunday.
Okay, so they're in order, they're just missing a whole
So is
bunch.
he's basically saying he's still at that
Barbecue.
and that fits. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so then this one is in the right place. I was thinking 8/13 was Tuesday, and I'm like, I don't think you and I had a very pleasant conversation on Tuesday.
You want to screenshot all those to me?
Yeah. So let's start with
And then
how do you
I
screenshot?
turned this off, but
Oh, this is so weird, you like ninja chop it. Oh, I think that worked. Okay, so that takes us down to 6:29, so then I'm gonna scroll up to 6:30.
Ninja chop. Interesting. It's old school.
I had to do a stop for common sense mission at my house last night. Star. I did not like it. I was like, this is scary. That's cool. I got to do that, so hopefully I don't go back.
So while you're doing that, let me ask you about the text with you and Charlotte.
Yes.
You talk about children and he's got his own kids and that makes you kind of uncomfortable because you'd like to have your own family. Put that in context for me. Is that a fair statement the way I'm saying it?
I mean, I guess. There was never anything I said to him though.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Did you ever say anything to him about
Never.
anything about his kids being a problem? Anything about his wife being a problem?
Never. I always try to be so inclusive with them. And even with her, when I was talking to her, it wasn't that his kids were an issue. It was just, this man already has a life. Should I go build my own, with somebody who hasn't done that yet? And then she was the one that was saying, I was engaged once and it didn't work, and now I'm engaged again, and she's trying to tell me, it doesn't matter, I'm on my second time of going through this, and she's like, I love this man very, very much, and she was saying, he's not gonna love you less because he's already been through marriage once and been separated and already had kids, he's not gonna.
Those references were never made to him though, about children.
Never.
So Charlotte, that's who you were talking with.
Yes.
Did you one time tell me Charlotte's a lesbian?
No, she's engaged.
Okay. Were you talking about one of your friends that might have been a lesbian at some point?
That's not this case. I don't think so. I don't.
You never said that about any of your friends that I inquired about?
I don't think
Okay.
so. I don't think that
I think on the first day we talked with your dad there, I inquired about Charlotte.
Yeah, you asked me about Charlotte and eHarmony, and I went
Right.
through my text and I was like, what is he talking about? And I couldn't find it. So I was wondering if maybe somebody referenced both of those two, but not together.
Okay.
I'm wondering if that's where that came from.
So Charlotte is your friend. She's your closest friend. You guys have this conversation, but it never went anywhere besides her and you.
Yeah.
You never mentioned it to Chris. You never said anything about your kids, or his kids, pardon me, damaging your guys' relationship
No,
or
no.
nothing like that?
Never. And I mean, and even in that, it wasn't like I never said his kids were a problem. It's just like he already has a life. I don't know about
Right.
that.
So in light of what's occurred, though, what I'm trying to make sure is that there was never a conversation that you guys had that he might have thought that you were saying, I can't be with you if you have kids.
I wouldn't be with him if I couldn't.
Okay. So I'm just making 100% sure that those.
I promise you.
Okay.
I really want you to pull these texts because all the stuff I've been telling you will sync up.
And I hope we can. I haven't been very lucky with your phones yet. They've been nothing but a pain. So this one's coming with me.
Okay, I think
Jeez.
I know this is the task. I'm gonna. Some of these might be duplicates, but whatever. I'm gonna send these to you. No, that was kind of something between me and her, and it wasn't even really the kids. It was that he'd already been married before, and I was just like, I don't know if I am in a long-term relationship with this guy. Is that something he would eventually want? Because that's something I would eventually want. You know,
So your concern was more about his prior marriage than his children.
I guess. I wasn't really that worried about him at that time. If you read the majority of those texts, it's very, very flattering to him and all the nice things that I have to say about him. It was just that I wasn't 100% committed to him yet. I mean, I was monogamous with him. I wasn't seeing any other men, but I wasn't hey, this is the guy I want to spend the rest of my life with. And part of the reason that I was uncertain, I mean, yeah, he'd already built a life, but honestly, he wasn't out of the marriage that he was already in.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to go tell the whole world, hey, I found this guy, and, I'm going to take in his kids, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And it wasn't because I had any problems with him. It's just,
Okay.
I know the context of that text now, looking at it looks so bad.
You have to look at it from the perspective that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And how it could be misconstrued or made out to sound something another way. That's why I wanted to give you the opportunity to say what it really means. Okay?
No, I don't mean any harm towards those kids. I always thought they were so cute. When he showed me those pictures, he was all about them, and not only that, but it's once you guys get those texts, you will see, there's not very much mention of his children. And if there is mention of his children, it's always cute stuff where it's hey, you should show them this, or hey, this apartment's great for them, or what do you think of bunk beds? And those little girls remind me of my little sister. They're the same age. Right. Yeah, I mean, it was so cute. He would call his little daughter, the younger one, Zizi, he'd call her Rampage. He's she's wild. And it used to just make me smile because my little sister was totally Rampage. And it just was kind of spot on, And so, it just kind of made me think, okay, these guys are going through a divorce at the same age that I was at when my parents went through a divorce. And it's how did I handle that? And I tell them, this is what happened when my parents separated and we were this old. And just try to, give him a reference because I gave it to him.
Right. Okay.
I mean, but just because I care about him and I care about his kids and all of that doesn't mean that I'm ready to turn around and commit everything.
Did he ever say anything like that? Do I have to get rid of my kids, or
no,
do I,
This shocked me just as much as I think it shocked the rest of the world. All of it. He lies so much now. I go back and think about all this shit, and I'm it's lies. Everything that they knew about him was lies. I mean, his friends let him stay the night at their house. He even fooled them. It's not just me. He lied to everybody. He had all of you fooled. And everybody stood up for him. His friends stood up for him. I really thought she left. I was let her fucking go. She'll come back in a day. She'll be all right. Let her cool down. She'll be here. It'll be okay. Had me convinced. I think she's just upset. And then never would I guess. I mean, even now, when I go back through this stuff that I'm like, it doesn't make sense, you know, or it like seems a little off, that stuff still doesn't send a red flag to me like, hey, this guy's gonna murder his family.
Sure.
You
I don't
know?
think there was any, you didn't have any indication, and by all accounts, it doesn't seem like anybody did.
No, I just, like, you know, sometimes I like try not to think what that man is thinking, because like, you don't know, you know, but it's like, how long has his brain been like shifting to this paradigm shift where he feels the need to do this? It's like, I just don't believe that it's something that just happens in a day or 2 days. I don't think it happens in 2 months. I think that this is something that takes a very, very long time to develop, and I don't.
Right. So that scares you when you look back at it?
Yeah, because I think about it, and I'm like, he could have had that capacity to do that, whether I was in his life or not. He could have had the capacity to do that, maybe not even just to them. It could have been me. It could have been our coworkers. I mean, the more I think about it, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to probably assume that I was the catalyst for his movement, but I don't think, you know, not me like instructing him, but him deciding to do that because he had me in his life and because he was so like infatuated with what we had going on. But, you know, like I try to put the reason to it at the end, like, why would you wipe out your family to be with me? Like, it doesn't like compute. It's like, how would that go? Like, hey, my family just disappeared, and you think that I'm gonna just not be concerned about that? And not only that, like, he was so about those little girls, and I always try to like push him to do that. Like I told you, like there'd be days where like he would want to come over to my house after work. I'd be like, no, go hang out with your kids. Your kids are home. Like that was me. It wasn't even him. That was me pushing that. And he would go do it, you know. And he'd spend time with them, but he was never like, oh, I don't want to hang out with them. He'd just be like, can I see you for a few hours? And I'm like, if your kids are awake, go hang out with your kids. You know, if they're sleeping, you want to talk, you call me, but don't do that while they're up. Like spend time with them. And I just, oh my God. And that is the part that I have like the hardest part swallowing, where it's like, why would you take them out to spend time with me? Like, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But you said he was infatuated with you.
But even then, if he's so all about me, and I support him being with his kids, you would think that he would want to do what would make me happy.
It's a good point.
And
so maybe
what
that's why
would make me happy
was him hanging out with his kids.
And it's in text, it's in phone conversations. I mean, so that's what I'm saying, that doesn't...
We'll look at it.
It doesn't...
That one particular context in that, just, it's so open, kind of interpretation and whether or not you said it. That's why I wanted to address it in particular. Okay?
Yeah, there's nothing like that in our text. I can tell you that right now. Never.
Did you send those?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm sorry.
How'd you ever get any work done? You get sidetracked.
I actually got a lot of work done.
I'm just teasing you.
It's a lot easier in the web field than it was in the other field, so. 871-956-9099.
I am.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, don't send those to anybody else, please.
Let's see how many I can do at a time. Screenshot.
We're right here, Aura.
How about email? If you emailed it, could you select each one and attach it to the email?
I mean, I just want to do it here so you know that I like dead
Um,
and it's tired.
Okay. That's right. You don't have that.
Okay, well, the rest of this interview, because I watched it so many times, is kind of just like nothing. So, well, guys, I don't know. I've been taking notes, luckily. So there is really like a lot to chew on. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Are there any specific things that you heard? That's so funny. Leatherface, welcome, and that's kind of funny. Lobo
Carol-
Medina, empanada, stock the
Empanada. Wait, what did he call? Yeah, it's what he's sexy empanada. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, my sexy little empanada. Yeah.
Ugh.
So Lobo says empanada stalked the Watts family before she was contracted out at Anadarko. It kind of seems like that. It really does. Yeah. So
Carol Johnson. You know, Carol Johnson had a couple of very good points.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to. One of them.
I was doing a couple things I needed to do while I was listening here.
Yeah, no. Just really about the fact that she would kept referring to the children, and like, even though she never met them, she would always make it a point to say like, oh, you have to do this because I come from a family where my parents were divorced and I turned out just fine. Yeah, Carol's like, she's a real peach.
Yeah. Oh, wait. So Molson Man says, I do not believe most mistresses would actually say this. I'm wondering what that was. I wish I was watching chat. Well, I normally do, but it was just like a long week. And I
talking about, I think it was about being with the, if you're with the kids, to be with them. Like,
you know what? And that's such bullshit. Now, first of all, I did a little bit of math. Long ago, I made a video about this, and she says, if the kids were around, that was all me. I encouraged him to be with the kiddos, and I know. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing: the kiddos were, according to her and Chris Watts' timeline of when they started dating and when they were together, the time that they were dating or whatever, the kiddos were only in town for a total of 5 nights while she and Chris Watts were dating, and Shanann only 3 nights. Shanann was gone for 6 weeks. They were dating that whole time. She's back in her home for 3 days, and then she's dead.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah. That says a lot.
Oh, Carol Johnson says, hi, Carol, welcome to chat, and thank you so much for participating. Says they reminded her, never met them, though. Yeah, skank for real.
True.
She had no issue from her parents' divorce. She turned out well. Just a real peach.
I got it.
I love you already, Carol.
Yeah, she is a real peach.
She's a real peach. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Leatherface says, Chris was laughing on the news, just thinking NK was watching to make sure she knows I did this for us. Damn, that's a good point, Leatherface. There's so many things you guys are saying I had never thought of. Oh, and Kevin says, hit the like button. Please do. Helps out the channel. We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
I never thought about that. That's just, wow. You guys got a lot of good things to say.
I forget what she says about when she saw Chris on the news, though. Didn't she say like it scared her or something to that effect?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that's what she's gonna say.
Right. Yeah.
I say she was proud of him.
Right. Totally. I was so proud of him. I was so proud of my whatever. I don't know.
He looked great. He had that shirt on that he really likes.
Yeah. Wait, what was this? The blueberries thing was so sad. Like, he's so worried about the nutrition for blueberries. And
that showed. They were talking about like on Monday morning with sunflowers or something. I'm like, he was Googling what are the nutrients in a blueberry. Like, that showed you where he was texting a realtor, co-workers, his dead wife. Right. Like, he was all over. He was so busy Monday.
Yeah, I know. God. Yeah. Bass Girl Susan, 1961. Welcome, my dear. Welcome to the channel and chat. And she says, bet that POS didn't even look after Dieter properly when SW and the kids were away. He didn't, because he was at work all day, and he said he stayed at her house every night. Dieter was just locked in his freaking crate for 6 weeks. I know.
Can't think of that. I can't even think about
Dieter has a nice life with Frankie Frankie Rusick now, so he did well in his old age retirement. Dieter did, so that's.
And he's so
thing.
sweet. When you think of
Dieter's so
Dieter, like
sweet.
he's in
I
his
know.
he's in his third home though. Like
I know.
it makes you
but
sad, doesn't it? Make me like
but at least
he's a survivor. He's a survivor.
He is, but at least his last home it's a good one. It seems
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh, Jamie Smith, Jamie has a question for you, Kelly. It says, "What about NK testifying to want to teach the girls? Oh yeah, about planting plants and."
Oh, I know. I made a video about that too. I know. That's freaking I can't even. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know.
Okay, so Aura made a good point because I tried because I hated to think of Dieter alone. So I thought maybe at times Chris took him, and Aura says, "What if Dieter went with CW to NK's apartment, and that is why NK and Dieter were friends? That's why Dieter let her upstairs, maybe right. It's like, come on upstairs. I know you.
I know. Come on.
You're usually usually out of bed when I see you, lady. Come on upstairs.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
I've never seen you vertical. That's so weird. Look at you. You're tall, actually.
Come upstairs.
Yeah. So, somebody has made the point once, and I don't know if this is true or not, but that, Dieter tend to like freak out when everyone came to the house. But according to, NK, she shows up there and Dieter's like leading her all over the place. I don't know. But we can't really, I guess, say much about that. But yeah. Bebop says, Marina D says, and hi, Marina, how are you? Welcome. At Bebop, she has her legs crossed. Oh, I don't even want to know about that.
I don't either.
But hi and welcome. Hi, Aussie True Crime. How are you doing? Welcome. And Rachel Townsend, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Oh my gosh. Dieter might lawyer up Kevin. Silly. That's awesome.
Dieter stole all of our hearts.
Yeah, Dieter's pretty terrific. Oh, Dieter.
Barry Claiborne says she seems to care about the children. Yeah, she made it a point of making sure the FBI knew how much she cared about.
Yeah, no doubt. Gosh. I know. And hi, Sherry Claiborne, by the way. I don't think I said hello to you. Yeah. Hi, glad you're here. Nice to see you. And hello, Elizabeth. What did she say? I was thinking this too. I thought you were going to say it's a legal thing. Hi, how are you? Is it Elizabeth Well, anyway, welcome. Glad you're here. Destruction of evidence, phones and texts is a standard hard evidence of guilt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, he says, I was actually like folding laundry when he was saying she was worried about like, am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to get in trouble if I talk about this with like my dad? And he said, well, no, you didn't do anything to get in trouble for. And, guys, this just makes me feel like they must have had a deal because, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if Anaphylaxis is still here. It's been a long live stream, but anyone that's been in law enforcement, if you were in law enforcement, I know that you can, be deceptive to people to, when you're interrogating them, if, I don't know what the rules are actually, but I say whatever you have to say. Yeah. But could he just say to her, no, you're not going to get in trouble. There's nothing to get in trouble for. They haven't even gotten all of the text messages or all of the data or anything from Celebrate. Right. This is only August 23rd. How could he say that to her? Yeah. Could he say that to her? Just, as bullshit if, he didn't know that, because if they didn't have all the evidence back in and it was unethical for him to say there's nothing you're going to get in trouble for, then that's a problem.
Yeah, it's reckless. That's really, it's very reckless.
No, it might be more than, it might be a liability. I don't know. I need to find more about that. Yeah.
I don't, Anna might be gone already from the chat, but that's a really good question.
Yeah. Hi, Ho Chi Minh. How are you? Nice to see ya. You guys are so funny. Oh my God. Wait, I just got it. Carol says, I have a friend who was murdered. Who was murdered. Her dog Pumbaa was a witness. He bit the perpetrator. Police found him locked in the closet. He cried just like, that's so, I'm sorry about your friend, Carol. Oh my God.
Jesus, that's terrible.
Oh yeah. Jeez. Wow. Terrible stuff.
I'm sure on Monday, Chris had Dieter locked up when whatever was happening.
He must have, because
Yeah,
Dieter would have. Dieter, he had to have, because
Yeah.
Dieter would have bugged out. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, Lobo says, Frankie Jr. Whoops. Frankie Jr. has another doggo as playmate for Dieter. Oh, that's awesome. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
that he's having
yeah, I do see there's like a bigger dog and Dieter, and Dieter's just happy.
Isabella Sky wants us to change topics for a moment. Isabella says, "Hi everyone. Is it true that Dave didn't even go to America after my last live stream? If for those of you that were here, obviously you saw it, or I don't know if you watched the replay. After I dumped out all of my stress about Dave, I haven't really kept tabs on him. I got a couple texts today. Sorry if you text me today and I didn't get back to you. I was back in the office today after COVID, and then I had to run a bunch of errands and things were crazy. But I did. Somebody told me that he made some community post today saying that he had talked to the Aberdeen Police Department about the cemetery issue. He's just so freaking obsessed over that cemetery issue. I'm sorry, Aberdeen is the township I believe that the cemetery is in. Isabella, I don't know, sweetheart. Does anyone know about that? Does anyone have anything to say about that question?
But I'm reading what you're just talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tell us if there's anything good. I mean, not good, anything that, see, as soon as we start talking about that, the viewing numbers go down. See what you do, bleep, bleep, bleep. I'm not even gonna say your name because you're not even worth it.
He's in the country. He's here. He's in the country.
He says he is, and he did. There were pictures posted, I heard, and
yeah,
I guess there were just pictures posted of buildings and random things that are like near the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
He's just harassing that family, and it's just so fucking disgusting. I can't stand it. It's disgusting. He is a disgusting human being.
I don't like that.
Sorry, I just had to.
I mean, there's no need for all that.
Oh, let's see. Okay, so Isabella Sky says, I just read it on Frankie's community page. Frankie said Dave never spoke to the police there. Honey, I don't know. That's like they're just back and forth about that. I don't know. Oh, so Frankie probably asked the police. I believe Frankie on this one for 100% sure, but I don't know. Jamie says, Kel, did you check out the last link I sent last chat? I can't pick up links in the you mean the chat here? I can't pick up links from the chat. I'm sorry if I missed it. I can go back and look though.
Email it to me, Jamie.
Yeah, you know what?
Or Kelly, if you email it to either of us. That's all.
Yeah. So wait, listen. So take over, read some from the chat for a minute, sweetie, if you don't mind, and I'll go check the last live stream, see if I can pick up her link.
All right. Let me go back now, because if I look on StreamYard, there's nothing of any interest.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. Do you want? Is this?
No, I'm on my phone. No, we're good.
Okay,
I'm okay. You're okay. Oh, yeah, Dieter has a girlfriend now. I hope he does have a girlfriend. Carol was saying something about her. Okay, with the friend's dog. But, all right. Do you all remember the case where Molson said, do you remember the case where the parrot witnessed the crime and told law enforcement what actually occurred? And Carol Johnson remembered it. She said, I remembered the parrot was cursing and saying, don't shoot.
I remember hearing that. Yeah, I don't know any details about it. I just remember hearing it. I didn't know if it was just like a story that was exaggerated or if that really happened.
Jesus, that's wild. Okay, Ara sent an email. Okay.
What are you saying?
About that certain creator being here in the country.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get to emails tomorrow morning, so I'm sorry about that.
Okay, thanks, Ara. She sent it in the group email too, a screenshot.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I can't see the live chat. Oh, Jamie, I can't find the link right now, honey. I'm sorry. This would take me. I don't even know. I'm sorry. What was it? Maybe I can just look it up.
What did Carol say? I'm fairly certain the conversations that Kobach and Dwayne Kissinger had off the record secured NK of not being anything but a witness. Well, that is kind of the way they make it sound, like like we're here to help you, like you're part of our team. It seemed like there was something was made, some type of what a deal, whatever you want to call it, was made off tape. Yeah. Cherry Claiborne asked, does anyone think Chris acted alone?
Yeah.
Does anyone think Chris acted alone?
Does anyone think Chris acted alone?
That's a good question.
If you think Chris acted alone, put a 1 in chat. So Molson Man, I want to address this, says, I find it disturbing that the R's did to that grave. Don't come for me. I don't F with Dave at all. No, I understand. And, a lot of people commented on, my community posts and said things like that. But here's how I feel about it as a mother. If like their daughter and grandbabies are buried there, and this man has been ruthlessly slandering them and attacking them since, I know when he, told me about his plans to slander them, it was last August. So it's been a really long time and it's been really consistent. So I can imagine that to them, that felt like they were protecting their family. And I mean, what are you going to do? What else is large enough to cover that big, beautiful, monumental marking that they have on the grave for that whole family? There's like a bench and stuff. So, I mean, what is big enough to cover that is a tarp, really. I mean, like what else? Like a crocheted blankie, So I know what you're saying, Molson Man, and a lot of people feel that way. But that's, I guess, just the other side of it from my perspective.
Concerning the tarps at the gravesite, I do not blame this is Carol. I don't blame the family that unseemly needed a tiny when he exposed them. Oh goodness.
She said, concerning the tarps of the gravesite, I do not believe the family at all. That unseemingly little freak needed a tiny tarp when he exposed himself online. He's unhinged and God knows what he might do. Girlfriend, I feel ya. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good point too, Lobo. He says NK was cleared before Dunderhead's first confession. Do you listen to Kimberly much, Lobo? I love her. Okay.
She's funny.
She's awesome.
She's so blatant.
Yeah, you're right. She was cleared before Dunderhead's first confession because, she was. I mean, there's so many reasons why, but yeah. So Sherry says, I believe the grave was pre-dug, the family taken out the back. I know there are, thank you for the link.
Thanks,
I'll go over to YouTube and grab that. Thanks, honey. So I think that there is evidence that does support that. I don't know if, I wouldn't go so far as to say I believe that, but whatever, that's just my opinion. I mean, I do think that is a possibility. Yeah. So, okay. So Molson Man says, I get what you're saying, but I would have installed 4 walls around it if I were to go to that extreme. It can be done respectfully. They cheapened it. Well, I mean, construct 4 walls around it. He was like coming that day. He was very secretive about when he was actually going to be coming. So I think for them to, but maybe, I know, I get you. I feel
What was the concern? He was going to profit off of pictures of the stones. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't think in this case it had anything to do with profit. I think it had to do with respect and the disrespect that he's shown their entire family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, let me see if I can go grab that link. So pick up chat for a minute if you don't mind, sweetie.
No, not at all. I just picking up where Molson left. Jim Morris. Oh yeah, I think Jim Morrison doesn't even have a tarp. I don't see why he should. Lobo said, Junior isn't entirely innocent of slander. Yeah, and it goes both ways, Lobo.
Yeah, I agree with you. But
sure.
Yeah.
Sherry asked if the family can keep him away. It's a public cemetery, but that would be up to the cemetery as to what they would consider, the reason being, unless he's doing something that would, in any way maybe.
Unless he did something that was considered to be illegal. It's a public cemetery.
Yeah.
Nancy and I were looking up the laws on this earlier. I was hoping we could find something that would be helpful, but they basically can't do anything about it. It's just, it's not that it's illegal for him to go to the cemetery. It's just that he's been such an asshole and he's harassed the family so badly and going about doing so. If he would have just kept his big fat mouth shut and gone respectfully, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But like always, he just has to be a jackass.
Yeah, that's just it. You know, you don't need to make a big deal about it. You could have easily went there and no one would have known even.
Yeah.
Our cemetery's basic rules, like you can't go, you know, not
Whoa.
allowed there after dusk.
Kevin, take it easy. Take it easy.
I got rid of that.
Yeah.
Like that, I didn't even know what it was, but it didn't belong.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Thank you.
Um,
I saw they got rid of it.
yeah,
That was a good
of
call.
course.
Just take it easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
all right, check it
whatever, you know, whatever happened. If he was or wasn't there, like you said, if they're just random pictures now, who knows? Who cares, right?
Yeah.
The family did what they
Right.
felt, I guess they had to do, and that's where it's at.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so that link is Paula's, I mean, it's Plunder's video, Jamie. We watched a little bit of it yesterday, but I didn't want to show the whole thing on the channel because it only has 2,000 views, 3,000 views right now, which is pretty low for Plunder. So I don't want to take her, you know what I mean?
Right. That is low for her. It's one of her newer.
It's a new thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but thank you. I mean, that was really interesting too. I watched it. It's definitely very interesting, Jamie.
I'm gonna
Thank
have
you
to
very
watch
much.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jody is cool says there's etiquette when you prepare to visit a grave. Exactly,
is.
Jody. Yeah.
It's so basic. Like, you know, you'll pretty much learn it from when you're a kid.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, guys, listen, it is 1 a.m. and I personally need to get going to sleep, but this was awesome. Thank you guys all so much for being here. And thank you, moderators, for moderating. You guys are so amazing. I have to do something for all you guys soon, and I will. I really appreciate everything you do for the channel. And thank you for to Roxana and Holly for the super chat, super sticker, and for Ara for becoming a member. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Oh yeah, and if you're gonna Sherry Claiborne, that's right. You think that he acted alone? Yeah, she was saying that.
That's right. I do
one
too.
time. Yeah.
I don't think he acted alone. But I know we were asked in the check. I don't.
Yeah,
do you think he acted alone, Kelly?
I think that she was involved. I don't know how. I
don't know how either.
I can't give an answer.
Right. I have no theory. I have no theory.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just can't. I would be being disingenuous if I said that I could even say that I lean one way or the other. I think she was involved. I don't know how. It's really a toss up. I need more information. Until I have a little more information, it would be disingenuous of me to say one way or the other. So I could really like pound it out there. And, I'm just not going to do that. So, but if people do think one way or the other, like, like everyone has to form their own opinion. So yeah,
Absolutely.
awesome. Yeah, the chat is great. Thank you guys so much. You're such a great group.
I know.
Everybody really loves the community, and Oh,
Yeah,
Elizabeth,
this is
she
a great
says,
night.
"Wow, I'd never seen Plunder. What a stunning lady." Her name is Paula.
Oh yeah, her and Dr. B used to be. That was Dr. B. They were partners.
Oh, they Plunder, Paula Mooney.
Yeah, they were like together at the beginning for a bit. Yeah,
like together, like romantically.
No, no,
okay.
no, like channel
like partners, like channel.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. No, Melissa, man. No, you didn't offend me, honey. No, you totally didn't offend me. Like, and I listen. I understand that perspective. A lot of people have commented on wherever on the channel, and they've said that, and I do see that. What I was just saying was the other side, and I see that in a way, but then the other side of it, another way I see it too, is that as a mother, I just see that need to just protect them however she was able to, or they were able to. Yeah. Thanks for being here, Lobo. It's always great to have you here. And Ara, if you want to pop your
I popped Ara's link. I'm trying to think.
Okay, cool.
Anybody that has it, we always try to help whoever has a channel.
Yeah.
Anybody that I'm missing that has a channel, just put a one by your name right now. I'll pop your link up. We do
Yeah, we like to do
Otherwise, this
that.
was such a great chat. Everybody really had
Yeah.
such good input. Really good
input. I wrote down a lot of things you guys said because leave Jim alone, act alone. You're so funny. And then RR is having an after party. So if you want to go over to RR's channel and do the Watts Obsession after party, you can go over there and continue to chat. And sometimes I think we have all nighters. So have fun with that because Mama Watts Obsession needs some sleep.
You go get some rest. I'm gonna hop over to ours.
So Bebop says the rape words offended me, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's why I got rid of it.
Yeah, so let's please just not.
We don't want.
Let's just not. Yeah, let's not talk.
We don't need to go
chat. Yeah. So sorry. So we won't even see. Yeah. Let's just be respectful in chat. Don't.
Sorry, that's okay. Elizabeth said I got here late. Just watch the replay. You'll enjoy it, Elizabeth.
Oh yeah. Where are you, Elizabeth? I can't remember. I think you told us once. I'm sorry. I can't remember. Right at the moment.
And thanks, Carol Johnson.
No, you're great, Carol. She said, I hope you'll excuse my gallows humor. It's the only way I can process. No, I love your comments. No.
I thought, Carol, tonight, Carol and Black Cadillac, I don't think I had ever met Black Cadillac before. I thought they had some really good questions, good points. Karen, G, I thought there was a lot of good feedback from everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
This was great. Thanks, Cal. I'm happy we ended up doing this. Now you can go get some rest with the bunnies. Are they all? Are they sleeping?
Yeah, they're resting now. They're most active. They're most active at dawn and dusk, so they generally wake me up in the wee hours of the morning. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So Elizabeth wants to go to the after party. So her link is there.
That's great. We'll see. We'll see you guys over there then, and I'll talk to you then tomorrow. I'll check my email.
Sorry, go ahead.
Whatever. I know R might have sent everything in a group email, but if there's anything anybody sent just to me for you, I'll shoot it over your way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yes, on your way out, everybody, please hit like to help out the channel. And I appreciate you all. Be safe, and I'll see you really soon.
Love you. Good night, all.
Love you too. Bye-bye.